Good evening. Good evening, everybody, and good afternoon
Yes,
to you,
good evening.
Tim.
Hello, monkey boy.
Can you hear me all right through this?
Oh, crap.
What have you done?
I had to mute YouTube because I was getting an
Oh,
echo from YouTube.
okay.
Okay, Lester, I emailed you the StreamYard link in case you want to join us.
Can you
So
hear me all right?
Sheik Alibaba invites you, Lester, San Jose, to join us for our costume party.
Can you hear me all right, Tim?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, cool. This is a bit difficult for me. A bit difficult for me
Gerard,
to read
that is not
what's
a
going on.
puppy. That is a werewolf. That's a werewolf, not a puppy. That is not a puppy. There's a big difference between a little puppy and a werewolf.
Unfortunately, you can see my mouth inside.
Yeah. Well, that makes it more scarier. Makes it like you're one of the aliens from Aliens. Oh, and hi, Travels with Jason.
Yeah, hi, Jason. How you
Well,
doing, man?
Well, Gerard, I'm not that good at belly dancing, unfortunately, but haven't really learned how to do with the veil dance, but I've got my dancing veil. But I will do the oh, I don't know if I should do the knee shimmy or not, but
Tim's got his chest out. You've got your chest out for the ladies.
well, I think it was Xantara requested that I wear a belly dance, the male belly dancer costume, so
Okay, yeah.
and we've got Lester is joining us now. So, hello, Lester.
Hello,
Aha,
guys.
Lester, hello.
And are you one of Santa's elves?
You could say that. I'll go with it. I'll roll with it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Let me just say hello to everyone in the chat that I've missed. I can't see very well through this thing, but hello, Gerard. Hello, Andrew. Good to see you both here. Hello, Zantara, and hello, Jason. Have I missed anyone, Tim? I don't think so at this point. It's difficult for me to see because I can't wear
Dean
my glasses.
from All Things 80s is in the chat.
Oh, hey, Dean. Hey, man. Thanks for joining us, dude. I don't think the nose on this thing is quite straight.
Eh,
Oh well.
well, I'm glad I found a pair of sunglasses. I wanted to be really hip chic.
You're a
Wanted to
chic
be,
sheik.
yeah, I wanted to be like Rudolph Valentino,
You're a chic shake.
or chic like what's his name? Elvis Presley and Harem Scarum. We got Largo's Lair in the chat who's saying happy Halloween.
Thank you, Largo. Good to see you, man. So, how's everyone's week been? All right.
It's been great.
Cool. What have you been up to, Lester? Making toys by the look of it.
That would have been an interesting career choice, but no. No, it's been pretty busy. Work's been busier, but I've made myself a little bit more busy because I've been helping my friend out at his place. I helped out yesterday or Monday. I think it was Monday. Yeah,
Cool.
gee, I'm losing track of time already. I'm gonna help out again tomorrow, and then I'm gonna help out like I usually do
Cool.
on Friday. So it just means a little busier, but it means a little bit more pocket change on the side, so I can't complain.
Yeah, yeah. How have your Halloween preparations started yet?
I've got a few more days. Thank you for reminding me. It's just that's another reason why I've been helping my friend out more, just so I can afford some more festive items, if you will.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
just like a knick-knack until Christmas prep starts to kick in. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it won't be long now.
no, I mean, what I do, because I follow a particular Christmas tradition where we start our preparation in the middle of November. So it's exactly 40 days, 40 nights of preparation for Christmas Day. So there'll be I will probably keep the pumpkin stuff, Halloween decor, because I'm a little jaded over how retailers have ushered in Christmas, but we haven't even hit Halloween. So it's just,
Right.
oh, I'm sorry, Santara. I don't know if this is exactly comfortable, man. The hat is not exactly comfortable. You know, if it was, I probably would have worn my ball cap, if that means anything.
So everybody in the chat, let us know how your Halloween preparations are coming along, and what you're going to be up to for Halloween. Are you guys staying in? Anyone going out for a party, or you're going to just stay in and ignore the trick or treaters?
Staying in, but I'm handing out candy.
It's a Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's a Tuesday. I'm working. I'll probably buzz around and see if there's any happenings going on, whether at the bar or wherever. I'll probably do some last minute scouring to see if I can get in on some fun.
Oh, let me just quickly address this comment from Zantara. I'm sorry to hear that you've had a loss recently.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's always difficult. So oh well. I don't really know what to say, but my condolences. Sorry to hear that.
Yep.
Yeah, condolences to you, Zantara. And Gerard O'Connor saying, thanks, Jason, you too. Unfortunately, my epilepsy has kicked in quite severely this week, so it's been a tough one.
Oh, Gerard, sorry to hear that, buddy.
Sorry to hear that, yeah.
Yeah, you might want to lay down, Gerard. Take it easy. Travels with More with Jason saying, I've been good, got Comic-Con this weekend, starting on Friday and Saturday at MCM London. Looking forward to it. Hope to find some G.I. Joes or Action Force.
Okay. Yeah, Jason's getting into his Action Force at the moment and his G.I. Joe.
Good deal.
That's quite a big rabbit hole to go down, Jason, but good luck with that. Hope you find some goodies.
Yeah,
Werewolf, Castle, Werewolf. Got it.
And Gerard O'Connor requested I dance. Well, Gerard.
Well, I mean, you've got the motif going on. I mean, yeah, most typical belly dancers don't have that attire on them, but there's always room for a first. I'm just saying. Soda Cauldron. Not sure what to go at. Well, that's why you've got the number of days we got until the 31st. I mean, helps to have that.
Let me see. We can get the niche, get my knees to shimmy a bit.
Okay, Timmy's setting up the knee cam. a rather questionable shot at the moment, Tim. Hey, there he goes.
I'm sorry,
Scared
Lester.
Lester off.
No,
Lester's
no,
sorry.
no.
I didn't mean to blind you with my belly.
No. It's not that. I'm just gonna check on my noodles I'm boiling. I don't know if you're hearing it now, but the pot is going nutty. I'm just gonna
Oh,
check my noodles.
oh, Tim. Tim Hayes, you funny, funny man.
Well, I knew if I would grow up to be a male belly dancer, I'd be dressing something like Aladdin.
Yeah.
So I knew, well, if they're male belly dancers, I guess they could just dress like Aladdin. And sure enough, they do.
Yeah.
Or they dress a little bit like Elvis or Rudolph Valentino. Okay.
You happy with that? You happy with your camera, Tim?
Well, here. There.
Oh dear. I didn't really think this through properly. I don't know how I'm going to have a drink. I don't know if I can get a drink in my mouth currently.
Soda Cauldron saying, fancy dress house party, not sure what to go as yet. Whatever you like, Soda. It could be a can of Dr. Pepper or a whole cauldron of hot Dr. Pepper. or Coca-Cola or Pepsi.
Yeah, it's your fault, Gerard.
Yeah, you wanted me to dance. I danced.
I wonder if I can vape in this thing. I can't drink. Can I vape?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
what
I can vape.
What line is that travels with Jason?
He's talking about Action Force, I think, or G.I. Joe.
Okay. Hope you have some good finds, Jason. We live in hope, sir, says Gerard O'Connor. And Gerard also says, guys, how generous is Sai? You must be overwhelmed, monkey boy.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I'll probably show the bits and pieces a bit later on in the stream. I'll show what Sai sent me. I received a lovely care package today from Retro Toy Guy Sai, and I've just popped a video on the channel this evening.
Yeah, and Travels and More with Jason says, thank you. Got a feeling it may be small picking on the vintage line there.
Yeah, I mean, there's yeah, probably there'll be a lot of classified and stuff like that, I imagine as well. But yeah, there'll be some vintage. Keep your eyes peeled. Lester's got his noodles on the go.
Yeah, so for now, it's just the three of us. Me, Sheik, Alibaba Hayes, the Werewolf Man, Dave, the Monkey Boy, and Santa's elf, Lester. Who's having a noodle.
Lester's bailed on his hat already.
Yeah, and he's having a noodle.
It's not the most comfortable thing out there. I mean, I could always grab a ball cap, but that's comfortable.
You're talking to a guy who's wearing a full head werewolf mask.
Yeah, I know.
It's quite good though. I like that the mouth moves.
Yeah.
So Tim, have you got any more Halloween bits yet? Decorations, or are you just going with your light up pumpkin?
Just a light up pumpkin, but I I did order some more drive-in flicks from Kino Lorber since they're having
Okay.
a DVD and Blu-ray sale. I ordered the DVD and Blu-ray of Dracula's Dog, also known as Zoltan, the Hound of Dracula.
Oh, yeah.
And then I ordered the Blu-ray edition of Journey to the Seventh Planet. It's from the early 60s, stars John Agar, who was
Okay,
in
I don't know that one.
Tarantula. Huh? You have it?
I don't know that one, no.
Well, it stars John Agar, who was in Tarantula, and he was in The Mole People, and he was in The Brain from Planet Eros.
Okay.
Those were a few movies he was known for. And let's see, what else? Thank you, got a feeling it... Yeah, I reread that. So Gerard O'Connor says evening soda, and Travels and More with Jason. Very generous. Cy is, I got some euros from Cy. Very nice eat.
Oh, he's probably talking
Maybe
about euros?
Maybe he means set. Oh, cool. Oh, Gerard's got his Scooby-Doo finally, because if you remember, I think it was last week or might even have been the week before, Gerard was saying that he got the Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine set and it came without a Scooby-Doo.
That's too bad.
So he's got one now.
So do you have
Cool.
the full Scooby Gang, Gerard? Do you have Freddy, Daphne, and Shaggy as well? And Velma?
Yeah. No one needs Velma, really. I've got a couple of her, but yeah, I'm not bothered.
And
I don't think anybody likes her.
Andrew says, Yo, Joe.
Yo, Joe. Keep them coming, Tim. Keep them coming.
Okay. I've got a pretty groovy, really gnarly idea. And Soda Cauldron, what's that you're saying? Evening GOC. I don't understand what he means.
Gerard O'Connor.
Oh, okay. Was wondering, it's just all capital letters. I didn't understand what he meant.
Yeah. Andrew's saying he missed my video tonight. That's okay, Andrew. You can check it out later or tomorrow or whatever. I didn't actually mean to upload it straight away. I was going to do it tomorrow, a bit earlier tomorrow, but it was set to automatic whatever, so it went live immediately. I wasn't actually planning on doing it this late at night. But no, it was a very nice gift box from Cy. I really didn't have any clue what it was or who it was from this morning. The postman brought it to the door, and I was very surprised. I had no idea what it was, so I just instructed Skeletor and Whiplash to deal with it, and it was a very nice surprise. Some really nice items in there. I'll show them a bit later on. As long as I don't pass out through lack of oxygen in this thing. Gerard's saying he's got the full set now, snacks and all. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those skirts are quite a problem. If you bend their legs up, the skirts pop off. Soda's saying it was a nice Boba Fett. And the rest of the stuff, yeah, indeed, yeah. And I mean, I no longer have to hang my head in shame at the fact that I don't have a Boba Fett, because I never had an original one. I've been keeping my eye on eBay for very good examples where the paint hasn't sort of scuffed, and they're so expensive, so I haven't managed to get one. So it was really kind of Cy to send that retro collection one. I'm over the moon with it. If I look up there, I can I can see him. Oh no, he's not. Where is he? Oh no, he's down here. That's it. I brought them down. I'll show them a bit later. Yeah. Cool. The serving size on what says 2 to 3 people?
Yeah, Andrew, what do you mean?
Might have been talking about the
I'm
Euros.
not sure what you're talking about, Andrew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew, what do you mean?
Oh, maybe talking about something earlier, because I know he said something. I don't know who said it, but
Oh, he's talking about a pizza. Santara says she's not doing anything on Halloween itself, but she plans to attend a Halloween game night with friends. And her costume this year is Poison from Final Fight. Cool.
oh,
I don't know what that is.
Nice. It's
You guys are gonna
one of those. She's one of the people you fight in that game, the Final Fight. It's a Capcom beat 'em up, side-scrolling beat 'em up.
So that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I can envision it. That looks pretty. I can see that being pretty rocking. You can just Google Final Fight Poison, and it should be a girl that looks like a rocker type. If I remember how she looked like from the game.
Gerard's got your noodles in his sights, Lester.
Yeah. Well, it's just because I was planning to boil it, but I didn't think the I was being lazy because I would have to wash the grease off the pot. I had some leftover grease from some Mexican sausage links. So when I cooked the noodles, I heard the thing boiling, but I didn't think the water would decrease. So it's got a mixture of the chorizo grease or sausage grease. So it's got that kick
Brilliant.
to the noodles.
I didn't think I was going to be hearing the phrase leftover grease this evening, but there we go. Well done. Tim,
Well,
if you turn round, I bet you look like a snow trooper.
maybe.
Yep, I reckon.
Let's see. I can turn around in this thing.
We can just see your back.
Okay, let me take the veil off.
So you,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I think maybe I was wrong. I thought maybe it would be hanging down and we could pretend you were a snow trooper, but all we can see is your broad shoulders.
Yeah, you're gonna see a little bit more muscle from me today. So,
Was he your favorite growing up when you were watching wrestling?
Not really.
Okay.
Tim's getting his guns out.
Yeah, I liked Hulk Hogan, and of course, I liked Andre the Giant until he turned against Hulk, and Roddy Piper just annoyed the hell out of me. Please, just kick his ass.
Yeah, I remember those days.
It was annoying. His personality is just annoying.
But he's probably still the most successful actor, at least when it came to like movies where he was the lead actor. It's like there are many attempts by a lot of the wrestlers nowadays that can't exactly carry their own film, whether we're talking like a big budget Hollywood or just even a B movie. It's like they don't have that.
Andrew,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Let me go down the chat.
Andrew was saying something about serving sizes in the
Mhm,
US. He says that the serving sizes that are listed are often way smaller than a normal person would eat. Okay, because coming from the UK, I always figured that US portion sizes would be bigger, because we see, like, when you guys get a large soda from McDonald's or whatever, it's absolutely massive.
Especially when you supersize it.
Right.
My local one, though, the last time I got like a big, well, it was a Big Mac meal, but it was medium. Yeah, the medium
Okay.
drink is barely even that big now.
Right.
And let me go through the chat a little bit more. And Gerard O'Connor says, Andrew, I just look at food and it evaporates regardless of portion size. Reading movies, cool costumes, guys. Yeah.
Oh, good evening,
Zan-
Reading Movies.
I
Thanks for
believe
stopping by.
Xantar requested I wear one of my male belly dancing costumes, so I made it into a chic.
Excellent.
I mean, I bought the chic thing for my the black Aladdin little vest and genie pants outfit.
I'm going to try and take a drink, but I don't think I can get the bottle through these jaws.
This chill already seems pretty special. Gotta love the spooky season. Yeah. Especially since I haven't gone to any Halloween parties for the longest time.
Okay, right. It appears I cannot drink. So...
Reading movies, I would wear mine to show, but my vision would be greatly impaired.
Oh.
But what do you mean your vision would be greatly impaired if you... Oh, you mean you're masked reading movies?
You'd be more than welcome.
Gerard O'Connor, I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Yeah, that's what Roddy said in that movie.
They live.
And that also starred what's her name from the Masters of the Universe movie, who played Evil Lynn, Meg Foster.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah, she was the lead female in that. Reading movies, excellent gifts on your video, Monkey Boy.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Andrew says, Monkey Boy, the portions are large, but if you look at the nutrition, they assume a small amount. A bottle of Coke over here, I think, is 2.5 servings. That way the health info looks better.
Ah, okay.
And
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Andrew also says, I bet most people drink the bottle of Coke in one serving.
Okay, yeah.
I think I've drunk a glass of Coke really fast in the past when I was like really young teen. And Gerard O'Connor says, agreed at reading movies and hello. And Xantara says, Monkey Wolf Boy needs a crazy straw.
Yeah, I do.
And
Yeah.
reading movies, yep, my costume is hard to see through. I just tried it earlier.
Oh, okay. Okay. Are you going to tell us what it is, or is it a secret?
Yeah, why don't you tell us what it is, reading movies? If you can.
Maybe it's a secret. He doesn't want the secret getting out to the world.
Yeah. Well, I only wore this because Xantara requested it. But I didn't have much of anything else to wear. It was either wear my regular clothes or just wear this. Unless I wanted to wear like a Phantom of the Opera like costume, but and I had like a sexy male sultan costume.
Oh,
called Alibaba with like a gold turban and there's like a red vest with like a gold chain going across the chest.
okay.
And it had it as like a red cape that just clips onto the vest, so I could just wrap that around me.
Oh, cool.
And Reading Movie says it's one of those all-in-one bodysuits. Looks like a skeleton crossed with a Xeno.
Aha.
And
Cool.
Largo's Lair says Tim looks very chic chic. Yeah, I know that word chick also it's sometimes pronounced chic.
Yep.
Yeah. You're a chic shake. Well done.
And that reminds me, there's an old cartoon that's a parody of the silent movie The Sheik called The Shriek.
Oh, I've heard of that. I've not seen it.
Yeah, one of the Oswald Rabbit cartoons is he's like dating either like a cat or a dog, and his cat or dog girlfriend gets carried off by a peg-legged desert sheik.
Okay.
Yeah, Xantara says I greatly appreciate the costumes. They are making me smile so much. Well, thank you, Xantara. It was a pretty good idea that you gave us. I think it was you and probably the rest of the chat that gave us the idea of costumes. Andrew says it is funny if you look at breakfast cereals. Some say 1 cup serving, some are 1 cup and 1/3, but I think most people use the same size bowl. It just lets them make the numbers look better.
Yeah.
But that also requires they do the measurements if they want to be watchful of whatever they put in. They have to use a measuring cup. That's what I do with my cereal. I ballpark it based on what I've used historically. Okay, that looks like a cup, or that looks like half of a cup. I mean, if you're doing real carb control, you're really counting that stuff. Now, the real nerdy thing would be, okay, based on that, I would just say, however many calories that serving is, how much is it coming from this, that, or the other?
Yeah.
That, that's if you really want to do all that measuring stuff. Like, I usually go with close to 1 to 2 meals a day. Just be good with it.
I've never portion controlled anything in my life. I've never ever measured anything.
Mm-hmm.
So the cauldron's saying, "Oh, Granny, what big eyes you have!
Yeah, he said,
All the better to see you with, my dear."
Yeah, he says, Granny Monkey Boy, what big eyes you have.
All the better to see you with.
And let's go down a little bit more. Gerard O'Connor is at Soda, the 3 laughing emoji faces, and Andrew, sorry I didn't put the metric equivalents. I'm stuck in the imperial system. And Largo's Lair saying any good horror movies on your binge list this week. I'm looking forward to seeing Young Frankenstein again. Yeah, I'd like to watch Deadly Eyes and Mark of the Vampire, King Kong. So many different movies.
Yeah.
And
This year I'm going to be watching The Witch. I will watch that again because I love that. I think it's really good. And I will also be watching one of Xantara's favourite films, the one she recommended to me, which is Night of the Creeps. I will be watching that.
And Travels and More with Jason says, Monkey Boy, you seen Werewolves in London? Seeing you got me thinking of that classic film.
Do you mean an American Werewolf in London, Jason? Because
Maybe
there
that's
is a film called Werewolves in London, which is completely different. But I assume you mean an American Werewolf in London, and
There's also
yeah, that is a classic.
yeah, there's a black and white Universal horror movie called Werewolf of London from 30s. Andrew, it is all rods, chains, hogshead, and other outdated measurement terms over here. Who remembers how many chains to the rod, or how many barrels to hogshead?
Wow,
And
I've never heard of any of that.
and reading movies says The Witch is a surprisingly good film.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it is very good.
Andrew, at Largo's Lair, you missed me dropping my Young Frankenstein reference earlier. Werewolf,
Oh,
Werecastle, their wolf, their castle.
oh, sorry, Andrew. I haven't seen Young Frankenstein, so yeah, that one slipped me by. Sorry about that, dude.
And Xantara says, Yay, Night of the Creeps, a YouTube guy that does mini horror reviews every October named Dr. Gangrene covered the movie a few weeks back, and I thought a Monkey Boy.
Oh,
And Travels and More with Jason says, yes, American Werewolf in London, and later on American Werewolf in Paris.
yeah, American Werewolf in Paris wasn't very good. I think that's the one with Julie Delpy in it. I don't remember it being particularly good, but American Werewolf in London is fantastic, really good.
And Gerard O'Connor says, not a Halloween movie, but I always watched The Witches as it scared me pink as a kid when they turned the kids into mice. Not sure why I continue to view it every year. Yeah, and that was written by Roald Dahl, who wrote
Roald Dahl, yeah.
Charlie. He wrote the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory book, and he wrote the sequel book to it, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, and he wrote James and the Giant Peach. Yeah, I found out his books, even though he wrote them for children, somehow they're more aimed at adults, so they're a little bit scarier.
No, I think it was because I think there was some talk about it on some YouTube channel or wherever I listened in on the commentary that it was more like, not sure that he didn't like kids, but it was more like telling parents this is how you should discipline your kids or something to that effect. That would be my thinking as to why he was he seemed more adult oriented in his focus.
Yeah, well, he hosted, and I think he wrote this one like Twilight Zone like show back in the 60s. Forget the name of it.
Oh.
Yes, but I remember BFG back in grade school. Yep.
Yeah, Big Friendly Giant.
Yeah.
And Andrew saying An American Werewolf in Paris. I wonder if there's any connection to the Netflix show Emily in Paris. I don't know about that. And Largo's there saying, Gogatron and I will be doing our Halloween special next Monday, Marvel horror comic books.
Okay. Nice.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And I still need to do my Frankenstein video. And Travels and More with Jason says, sadly, I won't have time to watch any films this weekend as both be long days up London.
Right.
And Andrew saying, Wes Anderson just had 3 short drops on Netflix. Or just had 3 shorts drop on Netflix based on Roald Dahl stories. They were pretty good. And Andrew saying Largo's Lair, lots of great Marvel books to choose from.
Yeah.
And Gerard O'Connor, thanks for the info, Andrew.
Cool.
So we are about caught up with the chat room text for now.
Jolly good. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm probably going to expire because I can't drink in this hat. In this.
Okay.
Mug.
Okay. Well.
But I can vape.
Yeah. Why don't you just take off or turn off your camera for now? So you
no,
can
that's
just...
all right. I'm all right. I'll power through.
And Largo's Lair saying Marvel's Tomb of Dracula and Werewolf by Night are my favorites. Yeah, and I think some of those, I'm not sure if both of those or some of those were put out as like book and record sets in like either the late 70s or early 80s by Power Records.
Did you see the Werewolf by Night short movie?
No.
It was quite peculiar.
And Andrew says, just read the Marvel Frankenstein series from the 1970s that Marvel put out. I think it is about 18 to 19 issues long. Crazy stuff. They have him go up to modern times. Oh, I thought the Marvel Frankenstein just covered the original Mary Shelley novel. And Gerard O'Connor says, show us your beautiful face, monkey boy.
Not tonight, Gerard. Not tonight.
Andrew says, Tomb of Dracula has Power Records. They are on YouTube. Yes, they are.
Cool. Cool. What about you, Lester? Are you going to watch any horror films this Halloween? Are horror films your bag?
I've seen my share of what you might think are horror movies. I did see The Conjuring over at another stream on Friday. Well, when was that? A couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I think over the weekend I caught a viewing of a 1987 flick called The Ghost Riders.
Okay, don't know that one.
It was a hilariously bad, kind of like horror western type of thing.
Okay.
And, I did finally watch Batman Forever in its entirety. And
okay. What did you think of that?
It was better than I remembered. And just because of the music from the first two Batmans, I don't know. I'm not the Batman connoisseur, not the expert in Batman, because I don't know, based on the different spins of Batman, would we be closer to the spirit of Batman? But if I were to say what was more in line with the Tim Burton, the first three, I didn't care too much for Batman and Robin, even though admittedly I didn't watch the entirety of it.
Right.
But it kind of gave me a different way of looking at the Nolan films.
Okay, yeah.
That I, not that I look down on them, but my opinion is kind of lessened on the Nolan Batmans, and that's partly because of Christian Bale. I mean, I think it's been caricatured to death, his Batman voice.
Yeah.
And this is not even looking at Affleck's Batman. I don't know who's worse between the two, and I honestly don't want to double check that.
I don't mind Christian Bale Batman. I mean, the voice is a bit laughable, but I mean, I don't mind him actually. I
know. I don't mind him either, but I guess depending on what you think the timeline is supposed to be for the Nolan Batmans, like Val Kilmer was a better Bruce Wayne than I thought. I thought. How do I put it? My appraisal of his Bruce Wayne was better than what I had thought at the time.
Okay.
That I, because it kind of retained that playful aspect of Batman. Like, it wasn't too cheesy. You can tell there was a little bit of cheese, but I find the Nolan ones a little too serious when I think about it.
Right.
There's
Well,
that. Yeah, go ahead.
Gerard just said that he believes that Batman Forever is the cutoff point, and everything after that is just unexplainable. It's just
Yeah, no,
unexplainable.
I get it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, reading movies. It's saying that he fancies watching The Fly again. Yeah, that's a good film. Fly is very good. Have you seen The Fly, guys? Lester, you seen The Fly?
I have in passing though. I think we
Oh, it's
rented it.
brilliant.
We rented it one time. I'm like, okay. I was kind of creeped out in some ways. But I
I
was
bet,
good.
Tim, have you seen the original Fly?
Yeah, I've seen the original. I've seen parts of the remake, but the remake was done by David Cronenberg, not John Carpenter.
Yeah.
John Carpenter.
Oh,
John Carpenter did remake the 50s movie The Thing from Another World as The Thing in the
Yeah.
very early 80s, but he didn't do any Fly movies.
Reading movies has just finished reading both the UK and the US Ghostbusters novelizations. So that's cool. Maybe we can look forward to a video on those soon, sir. Be up
that's
for
an
that?
intriguing statement that he put out there. I was trying to think about it because I did watch the Batman, the one with Pattinson as Batman. I don't know what to think of him as Batman. Like you said, you didn't mind Christian Bale.
Yeah, I don't mind him.
Yeah, I didn't mind. I appreciated they tried to bring more of the detective aspect, which is what Keaton and Val Kilmer did a decent job in. I don't know if it was the greatest, but
Are you talking about the Pattinson Batman?
yeah.
Yeah. No, I quite like that. I think the first kind of 2/3 of that film were really good, and I think the last third kind of let it down a bit. But overall, I quite enjoyed that.
Do you think it was a little bit too long? I think there were jokes.
Yeah, probably.
The jokes
I
that
mean,
there were. I think there were some jokes about the runtime, and some people on sports radio, because they had some event at the time, and they were talking about one of the radio hosts falling asleep during the movie. I'm like, I can see that. I can see that because it did feel a little bit long. Yeah.
right. I'm gonna just mute my camera for a moment
Sure.
and take a drink, and then I'll be back in a slightly different form. Ha
Sure.
ha ha!
Sure.
Okay.
See you soon.
And Travels and More, Jason, the film you're thinking of, I think that was The Fog. Gerard O'Connor says The Fly is great.
Yeah, The Fly is awesome.
Andrew says both versions of The Fly are fun. And Andrew says Vincent Price going, help me, is great. Yeah, but luckily it wasn't Vincent Price the one saying that. It was some other guy. And reading movies, oh yeah, my error. And Largo's Lair, Rocky Horror Picture Show is a fun romp if you prefer kooky musical instead of scary films. And Andrew says, when I was a young man, The Fog scared the crap out of me. I haven't revisited it since. And yeah, Andrew, I think that's the film Travels and More with Jason was talking about. where they're trapped in a church, where I don't know if it's really a church, but they're trapped in some building.
Right, here I come with my normal face.
Okay. And Gerard O'Connor says, "Don't worry, everyone. We all float down here."
We all float down here, Georgie. We all float.
And Reading Movies says, "It has been so long since I have seen The Fly. I forgot who the director was." Yeah, David Cronenberg directed the 1986 film. He's the Canadian horror movie director that directed Rabid back in the 70s. Yeah. But I don't know who directed the 1958 film.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
And Travels in War with Jason, both Fog was very good. And Largo's Lair, The Fog, and The Thing are underrated Carpenter classics.
Yeah. Well, I don't think The Thing is underrated. I think everyone rates that fairly highly. But yes, I think the Fog is a bit underrated.
And Travels in War.
I love The Thing.
Travels in War with Jason, not The Fog. It was some students and a teacher trapped by evil. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Unless you mean maybe it was Prince of Darkness. And Gerard O'Connor says, in regards to the Batman, I was so impressed with myself for not taking a toilet break in the cinema. Yeah, when I went to go see Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, I went to the bathroom before I left the house, but by the middle of the movie, I had to pee so bad I couldn't focus on the movie. And as soon as the movie's over, I ran to the restroom and went pee. So I had to pee so freaking bad. And Andrew says, I was really hoping Monkey Boy had a My Little Pony mask.
Yeah, me too. I'd like one of those.
And Xantara says, Leather Monkey. And Reading Movies, has anyone seen The Fly 2? The last 20 minutes is a gore fest.
Yeah.
I've seen a little bit of that. And Gerard O'Connor.
Who was the guy in that? I've forgotten his name now. The guy that originally was supposed to play Marty McFly in Back to the Future.
I think it was Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. Eric Stoltz. He's in The Fly 2, I think.
I think he actually did film some scenes for Back to the Future, but then they went back and just reshot everything with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, that's right.
And Gerard O'Connor says, damn, Monkey Boy moisturized maybe, and Travels in War with Jason, Prince of Darkness. Yeah, that's probably the film you were thinking of. Travels in War with Jason, correct,
Prince of Darkness, is that not the one with Willem Dafoe?
I don't know, but Alice Cooper is in it.
Okay.
And then I think the guy from the Halloween movies, Donald Pleasance, was in it as well.
Okay.
And Andrew says, I know Carpenter makes his own music, but for The Fog, he really should have used songs by Foghat. Slow Ride, Take It Easy, and Largo's Lair. Carpenter's The Thing was a box office flop, but it gained a cult classic status over the years since home video release. And
okay, I had no idea that didn't do well at the box office. I would have thought that would have done incredibly well because it's a very good film. That surprises me. Thanks for the information, man.
And Reading Movies says, speaking of Batman, McFarlane has a cool looking character called Abyss on pre-order.
Okay.
And Reading Movie says Eric Stoltz. Yeah, he was in The Fly too. Yeah. And he was the original actor cast as Marty McFly in Back to the Future. But then after they shot all of his scenes, they went back and reshot everything with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
And Xantara is saying Prince of Darkness stars Jameson Parker, who was in the show Simon and Simon.
Aha.
Did not know that. And Largo's Lair says if you prefer the classic blue and gray Batman, Mothx is releasing Nightfall Batman and Bane next year. And
Okay.
Xantara is saying, I got a kick out of Fly 2. It is underrated.
Yeah, it is
And
good.
Andrew says Largo's Lair is Mothx. Is Mothx one of those pricey companies? I know there are some high-end jobs out there.
Well, going back to Xantara's comment about The Fly 2, I do like that film. I think it's very good, but I find the whole dog scene quite upsetting.
In The
I felt
Fly
really bad.
2, because I know in the 1986 Fly, they put a baboon through that machine and it comes out inside out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty gruesome.
And then Reading Movie says, shoot. Oh, I'm in the wrong page where I can repost this. Reading Movie says the Thing flop is the reason why Carpenter decided on making Starman instead, swapped horror for something with a broader appeal.
Oh, okay.
And then
That's
there was that Starman TV series that lasted for a season.
I never saw that.
Robert Hayes was in the Starman TV show. No relation to me. And Largo's Lair is saying, Andrew, yes, Mothx are a big spendy but beautiful articulation and details.
Yeah.
And Travels and More with Jason. Don't think I've seen the Fly since they both come out back in the day. And Reading Movies. The Fly 2 scenes with the dog and the ending was pretty chilling. So
yeah, those dog scenes were really quite. I don't want to say powerful in a sort of obnoxious way, but they were quite moving, those scenes.
And in Roger Corman's Humanoids from the Deep, there's a scene where a dog attacks one of the humanoids and it gets killed. It was pretty sad. Xantara says, the Starman TV show was excellent. My sister and I watched it every week when it came out. It really should have gotten more seasons.
Oh, I've never seen it. I saw the movie a long time ago, but I didn't know anything about the TV show.
Yeah, I didn't know. Well, I knew about the TV show, but I didn't know much about the movie right away.
This is what Leatherface looks like when he's grooving.
And Gerard O'Connor saying, so you guys with current video games, i.e. Resident Evil, Alone in the Dark, Silent Hill, Alan Wake, and such, I can't help remembering Ghost and Ghouls, Altered Beast, and such. I'd be interested to hear Lester's.
What about those games? I remember playing those back in the day, like Altered Beast, easily on the arcade, and I had a buddy with a Mega Drive. So that was one of the many games that many people got. If you got a Mega Drive, Altered Beast, Afterburner, all the other games. I didn't get into Alone in the Dark like my friend did. I did get the first Resident Evil game because that was like the rage when it came out. When you played on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I remember Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2. They were big on the PlayStation. I really enjoyed those. I don't really know of any other many scary games. There was a game called a number of years
And
ago
I've got
now. There was a
another
game called the
person
Butterfly
joining
Effect.
us.
What's that?
Another one of our regulars.
Yeah, I remember a game called the Butterfly Effect. That was quite
Oh,
good.
that was a game? I thought I only know that by name as a movie.
I don't think it was the same thing. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I only know the game.
Okay. Yeah, the movie was featuring Ashton Kutcher, and I think the dude was from Return of the Titans or Varsity Blues. He was a big burly guy, and I
Oh, I don't know.
forgot the gal who was in the movie with Ashton Kutcher at the time. It might have been Amy Smart, but I can be completely wrong on that.
Right.
Other than that, what other games?
And
Hey,
hello, Action Pop Dad Nick.
what's cracking, Ninja?
Not a lot, Toenail. How are you all?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm doing good. Good. So you've got
I,
your
uh,
pop
I
shield
just-
on the scene.
Yeah. I decided to come as Clark Kent if he discovered emo.
Nice.
Excellent.
So I'm loving
Thanks
Tim's
for joining us,
outfit.
man.
Thank you for having me. I think Kim's going to come on. She said she was going to come on, but we had to do some sound checking stuff and I've sent her a message saying I'm going on, but she hasn't got it yet. So it's Scotland.
Oh.
It might take a long time to get there. That pigeon.
What are your plans for Halloween, Nick? Have you got anything planned with is it Jackson, your son?
Is Jackson my son? So Friday night, before me and Kim do our streams and everything, there is a Halloween party for the kids down at our village hall, and the bar's open for the adults. So I might have a couple of cheeky pints and watch the
Yeah.
kids eat Haribo and run around and deal with that.
Yeah.
And then I'm busy Friday night with all the YouTubiness, and then not a lot really, not a lot. I've been saving the latest Scream film, so I think I might watch that. And I've also been saving the latest Halloween film, so I might watch both of those like back to back.
Oh,
You know?
okay. Okay. Is that Halloween Ends?
Yeah. I really enjoyed the one that Jamie Lee Curtis did. You know, the one which cancelled out all the films between. They did one a few years ago, didn't they? 2 or 3 years ago.
They did Halloween
what?
Kills.
Yeah, I'm sure she's done another one. I could be wrong. I could be in a fever dream. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. If not, I've just watched the latest one again because it was good. So, were you guys just talking? Sorry, I've been tied up. Were you just talking about scary computer games?
Yeah.
Did you mention Silent Hill?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was good.
That was
I've just started playing that again on my old
Your
that thing,
device.
that device. Yes, my device.
It's
Sounds very
your
official when you say
device.
device, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
Oh, excellent.
Tim,
Yeah, no,
man.
that Silent Hill was quite creepy. I remember that back in the day. That was good. I don't know of any sort of more modern scary games because I kind of got out of sort of
Devil May
gaming.
Cry might have been considered scary-ish, maybe.
Which one?
Devil May Cry, first one on the PS2 with Dante. I was just going to say, Tim, man, you're rocking those shades tonight, man. He's got a lot of the Big Lebowski about him tonight. I'm loving that look. But yeah, scary games. There was a scary game on the PlayStation called Clock Tower. It was like a point and click game, and like the whole idea was you had to like solve a mystery, or this guy with a giant pair of scissors came and cut you up. That was quite.
Oh,
That was quite a good game.
That sounds all right.
I think there were Clock Tower games on the SNES, you know, but
Really,
the only one I ever had was on the PlayStation. I really enjoyed that. I might have to actually legally acquire the ROM and play it again. So
Yeah, I'm trying to
yeah,
think of other scary games. I mean, I think the one that was quite atmospheric, I think, was Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2. I remember those being quite atmospheric and quite edge of your seat type stuff. But I dare say
yeah.
there are more scary ones now.
Well, funnily enough, I watched an AVGN episode last night, and what was it? There was like a real Resident Evil ripoff. I think it was called Countdown Vampires, and it
Right.
or Vampire Cat or something like that. And it was a real, because you know what happens whenever there's a successful game, they someone inevitably clones it, don't they, and wants a slice of the pie. But I'm
Yeah.
sure James, that's the one James Rolfe was talking about. But he was saying in his video, between all the swearing and all the stuff he does, that apparently this company that like knocked off this game years later went on to work on Resident Evil 5. So it sort of came, they
Oh.
paid the company that bootlegged them all those, sort of cloned their game and ended up getting them in to develop the game they cloned years later. So
Oh, okay.
very, very weird little world of computer games we live in.
Yeah. Oh, no, I like those Resident Evil games. They were. I'm not saying they were cutting edge exactly, but they were. Nothing had been done like that before. They were quite unique at the start. I enjoyed those.
Oh, say her name and who shall appear?
Kim.
Kim.
Yo.
Good evening. Good evening, Kim. How
What?
are you doing?
Still here.
Why are you not a floating scary potato or something? I feel you're missing an opportunity, Kim. I have to deal with those weird
Yeah, but
screen
you don't
things
like
you do.
them, which is why I made a point of not doing it.
Well, no, they freak me out. I mean, if it was me and if I did it and you didn't like it, I don't like them. They freak me out. I'd do them more. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I'm
I am
not that kind of person.
I am.
That says more about you than it does about me.
This is very true. Yeah. Well, I bet Kim
Jason's
can't.
asking, who do we think are the best horror directors and authors? For him, he likes Dean Koontz and John Carpenter. I think early Dean Koontz was okay when he was writing horror. Stuff like, well, not horror as such, but when he was writing stuff like Watchers and stuff like that. That was kind of good Koontz. Dean Koontz seems to have lost his edge when he shaved his moustache off and bought a wig. And in terms of directors, I think Jordan Peele is one to watch for horror directors at the moment. What does anyone else have any opinions on directors and authors?
I don't know much more of his work. So you're wearing a mask of one of to me, one of the best horror films ever made. I believe the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the best horror films ever made.
Okay.
It was Tobe Hooper, wasn't it, who directed
Toby
that?
Hooper, yeah.
So, I'm ashamed to say I'm not very good with director names and that. I did actually just look on my phone to see who the name of the director was. So I tried to sound intelligent. Actually, I just wikied it. But I can't really go director, but I guess as it's my favorite horror film ever, I could say he's my favorite horror director, if that makes sense, because I've seen a hell of a lot of horror films. Yeah, so that's my little roundabout way of saying my director. I think John Carpenter is quite reasonable as they go.
Yeah.
But I don't know a hell of a lot of. I guess Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Did he direct or was he just the producer? He directed, didn't he? The Nightmare on Elm Street films.
Yeah. Robert Shaye was the producer.
Yeah. See, for the Nightmare on Elm Street films, I only really love the first one, and I think is it Dream Warriors, the one where they all go into the dreams and
Yeah.
fight. I think that,
Yeah,
that film's
part
all. I've
3,
seen
yeah.
them all over the years. Yeah, I don't know who directed all. I enjoy several of the. In fact, the after the night, the Friday the 13th films got, the better they got. The more ridiculous. Was it Jason Takes Manhattan where he punches that guy's head off on the roof with
Yeah.
an uppercut? There's like that young boxer kid giving it all, and Jason like,
Yeah.
uppercuts his head off. It's like it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So,
That's one of my favourite Friday the 13th films, actually. I like
it's great.
part 3, part 4, part 6, and part 8. My favourite ones.
Is it part 4? Is it part 4 when it's not actually Jason? It's a copycat, but then
No,
Jason comes
that's
back at the last minute and kills the
no,
copycat.
that's part. I think that's part. I think it's part 5, the New Blood. I think, but somebody
it's
might correct me if
yeah,
I'm wrong.
it's part 5, I think, A New Beginning.
Oh, A New Beginning. Yeah, yeah.
Because the first time I watched that, I was like, why is Jason's triangle blue? And it bugged me all through the film. And then you realise it's because it's a copycat. It's like, because it should be
Yeah.
red.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Reading Movies is saying Alien Syndrome for the Master System was meant to have been popular. The name rings a bell. I don't think I ever had that, but it does ring a bell.
I think it's in the list of games on my handheld thing I've got, but I haven't played it yet. I probably need to play some more Master System and Game Gear. I've sort of been really hooked on the early PS1 games of late and
Oh,
a bit
yeah.
of Mega Drive.
Yeah.
So it's probably where I've been at.
Does your device, does it handle the PS1 stuff all right?
Yeah, no problems with PS1 at all. I'll fill people in case like, what are you talking about? I've got a handheld device by a company called Ambernick, and the model is the RG, which stands for Retro Game 353M, because it's got a metal casing. It's the shape of like an old Game Gear, a lot smaller. I showed it to Monkey Boy, and he absolutely fell in love with it, and
Yeah, it's
he's
a
now on a
cracking
mission to
little
get
kit.
one.
I've definitely got
But
to
no,
get one of those. It looks amazing.
handles every PS1 and below, everything PS1 and below, flawless, no issues at all. Won't miss a beat. It's okay with N64. Few of the games are a bit stuttery, but playable. Dreamcast can do a bit of Dreamcast. Struggles with some of the PSP stuff, but you can get other more powerful devices which can handle those games better. It's just I went for the device in my price range, which PS1 was really where I topped out. I had a PS2, but PS1 was sort of my thing, not to take it too into computer games.
Yeah. Gerard O'Connor says he loved Eternal Darkness. It was on the GameCube. And that and Animal Crossing were his top games.
Amazing.
I've never played Animal Crossing in my life. I feel I'm missing out.
Just to jump back. Sorry.
Xantar was saying about Clock Tower on the Super Nintendo and Clock Tower 2 on PlayStation, saying that they're incredibly scary.
They are. They're proper. They're not like all out gore, but like you're doing whatever, then like a timer will come down, and this like hunchback with these giant pair of scissors will come, and you're like, shit, it's impending doom, and like so when you get all like pretty cool. I was going to say, I just to throw it out there before I get, we don't have to talk about it. We don't have to talk about it at all. But film I love, which is technically a horror film, is Bubba Hotep. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen that.
Yeah, quality. It's very peculiar, but you've got to love Bruce Campbell's chin.
It's just like if anyone hasn't seen Bubba Hotep, please watch it this weekend. It's mental. If I told you the rough idea for it, you'd be like, that sounds rubbish. But it's not. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, it is good. I think it's the same director as Phantasm, isn't it?
It says Don Coscarelli.
Coscarelli.
That is Phantasm. So I know a
Yeah.
few more than I. Phantasm films are good though, aren't they? They're like a lot of people. Oh, Kim has vanished.
It says devices not connected for Kim.
I think she's having a few internet problems at the moment. She'll pop back when she's ready, I'm sure.
Kim, come back to us.
Hey Jared, how you doing, man? So, is everyone all prepped for this weekend and what they're doing? I know it's not officially Halloween, but most people do the Halloweeny bits this weekend, I would presume.
Yeah, more or less. I've got my video planned for what I'm doing. I think my main Halloween video I did last weekend, but I sort of got that one out a little bit early. But I'll be doing another. Hey, what is that? A potato?
I am a vampire potato.
Fantastic, Tim. Can you make Kim big for a bit so I can? Because I haven't got my glasses on. I want to take in the full majesty of this. That's brilliant.
No, that's cool.
No
God.
way. So is that your real mouth, but surrounded by a CGI potato?
Yes.
Wow. Good
But I
work.
can also make myself. Hold on, wait for it. Wait for it. Rainbow potato.
Hey, that's cool. I can get down with that. Yeah, I was gonna mention Stephen King. Like, I still to this day remember Kathy Bates in
Misery.
Yes. That.
Sorry, I'm really amused by these potatoes.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, that looks like a frosted mini wheat. If I'm not, or just a mini wheat.
That's brilliant.
But yeah,
no, Misery was a really good adaptation, actually. I think Stephen King started to get really pissed off because a lot of the movie adaptations of his films were bloody awful. And I mean, people say The Shining is a good horror film, but actually, if you compare it to the novel, again, it's really not. It's not a great novel. A great big screen adaptation of the film. But
what is that?
That's a pumpkin, Nick.
No, I know. Just oh no. It's just too much, Kim.
That's fantastic.
It's too much.
I think the potato was great.
So in The Shining, Shelley Duvall is Mrs. My friend who has been my tattooist for many years. He always goes on about how my missus reminds him of Shelley Duvall. It's like, Carla just reminds me of her. Just reminds me of her.
Oh, really?
Really? Yeah. I don't see it myself, but maybe because they've got dark hair and they're both slim. I don't know. That's enough for some people. Someone once said I look like Conor McGregor. It's like, what? Because I've got a beard and tattoos. It's about the only similarity there is.
No, I've seen you before, man. You don't look like him. Don't mean to offend, but you don't. I've seen enough Conor.
I don't look like Conor McGregor, I know, but that's what people do, isn't it? They go, "Oh, you've got that feature. You look like this person."
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh God! Imagine when I was like 22 stone, had long hair. Imagine the meatloaf comparisons I got.
Jason's asking what we think of Freddy versus Jason. Well, I'll tell you what, Jason. That film was kind of on the cards for about 12 years. They were saying, yes, it's on, no, it's off, yes, it's on, no, it's off. And we waited so long for that bloody film.
It died, didn't it?
Yeah, and I think by the time they got it, and it got the green light, and it actually went into production. I think everyone had gone off the boil by then.
What was the Friday the 13th film where his glove come up at the end? It was the one I really didn't like because basically Jason wasn't in it at all. He possessed someone's body, and then at the end he just
That's
jumped out of that body.
that's part 9. Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, that was probably my least favorite of those films.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Um,
But then the following film, Jason X, where Jason was in space, was also a pile of shit.
oh, that was. There was only one bit in that which absolutely cracked me up. It's the bit where Jason's in the simulation in the woods, and he's picked up one of the. What's it? The girl says, "Here, come and have underage sex with us and smoke dope." And he picks up the sleep. He cuts back to scene him. He's got one of them in the sleeping bag, like hitting her like she's a pillow.
Yeah,
that was funny. That was very funny. But
I think
that wasn't a great film.
Jason X has got one of the best kills ever in it. I don't like the film, and I don't like the whole space Jason business, but there's one kill quite near the beginning where he drowns a woman in what's that freezing stuff called?
Liquid nitrogen, and then
that's it. Yeah. He dips her head in liquid nitrogen, freezes her head, pulls it out of the thing, and then smashes it on the side and smashes her head to bits. That was quite a good kill. I enjoyed that one. Hey, potato.
I think with all those films, I say the sillier they got, the better they got. Maybe that's not true. I think in the original series, like, Jason Takes Manhattan, and I think that was the peak for me. I think that's where I finished up on the classic films. But I will take Jason X or Freddy versus Jason any day over that god awful Nightmare on Elm Street remake. That to me was just terrible and pointless and all things I hate about remakes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry if you guys liked it. I just couldn't get into that.
I didn't rate it very highly. I was interested in it, but unfortunately it really didn't. It spoiled everything that was good about
Robert
the first
Englund's
film.
Freddy, though, isn't he? He's so distinctively Freddy. There's some characters you can. I know they say that there are some characters that should be recast that haven't, like Indiana Jones, for instance. They should have bloody recast him by now because Harrison Ford doesn't need to be the only one. But there's character actors like Robert Englund, and no one can. You know who Freddy is, don't you? Everything. It's like what's the line in the one in Dream Warriors where he grabs the girl's head and smashes it in the TV? And this is apparently a line he just come up with on the spot. Bitch, yeah, like
it's prime time. Yeah.
They let him come up with his own bits. He is so cool.
Yeah.
But my glasses are broke.
What about you, Kim? Any good horror films you can recommend? Anything you're into?
No, I stopped watching horror movies after I decided many years ago to sit and watch independent Japanese horror movies by myself.
Oh, okay. So what kind of Japanese horror films? Stuff like
I wouldn't even be able to tell you now because they were literally independent movies, so they weren't mainstream in any capacity. They were like you got them off a website.
Okay.
I've
got a few Japanese horror films. One of the best ones I've seen was called A Tale of Two Sisters. That was pretty good.
The difference is the Japanese make a point of scaring you, though.
Yeah.
If you show Kim the trailer for a cheap, sorry,
no, go on.
if you show Kim a trailer for a cheap English low budget production of Winnie the Pooh horror film called Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, she has nightmares.
Well,
story.
that could have tipped the teacher of those fourth graders, whoever that person was, who decided to show that to that class. I don't know if you saw the news clippings on that. There was apparently a fourth grade class who was subjected by their teacher to that movie without knowing what that movie was about. I mean, come on. I know we don't.
I mean, that teacher is an idiot if they didn't figure it out in about 2 minutes of the film. Oh, I better turn this off.
Well, let's say it took their reactions for the teacher to go, oh, this, what? I don't know what ended up happening to the teacher, but yeah, gotta do your homework, buddy. Like that's almost borderline hypocrisy, talking about doing your homework, right? And
I would question anyone who doesn't read the title Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey and doesn't look at the
one
cover
would think, right?
with really distorted Pooh Bear on it.
Oh God. Although I would love to see that in a way. They could have done it about the CCP. That would have brought a lot of laughter, because I think you could spoof it very easily if you base it off the guy who's in over there in Becking.
Zantara was saying she enjoyed Jason Goes to Hell. She thought the writing was very good, which is a fair point, I guess.
Oh man, you enjoy what you enjoy, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you like what you like.
Exactly.
I didn't like the whole possession thing. I preferred it when Jason was a zombie as opposed to a malevolent spirit.
That was
what ruined it for me.
Okay, so zombie Jason is your favorite Jason, Voorhees and Monkey Boy?
I like part 3 because it's the one where he got the mask for the first time. Because obviously in the first film he wasn't in it. It was his mum that was doing all the killing. Spoiler alert.
Well, he was in the first movie.
He just had the potato sack over his head, like the burlap sack pillowcase type thing. So I like number 3 because it's the one where he got his mask for the first time. Can anyone help Gerard out? He's looking for the name of the movie where the guy was dragged his leg and came after you through the TV. Anyone know?
No, not offhand.
Anyway, speaking of Jason, I'm going to turn my camera off for a second.
Oh, I have a feeling about this. Well, I was just thinking about, because Monkey Boy brought up I think it was Monkey Boy who brought up the possession bit, and I'm just thinking, could they have done something with Ahsoka where it was like a horror movie of some sort? That might have actually garnered some viewers.
An Ahsoka horror movie?
Well, because the stormtroopers, the antagonists with Admiral Thrawn, we're talking like stuff that they took out of Macbeth. They could have done some creepy things like possessed or zombie stormtroopers, a woman turning into a witch, that kind of business. They totally could have done something with that.
I have already seen an Ahsoka parody, but it wasn't a horror, and we can't discuss it here. But yeah.
Wait, are you talking about the 1980s intro to the show, or are you talking about?
Well, don't worry. We'll go into it off stream.
I don't think his stream will be taken down because we're just discussing a snorka. But no, anyway, but I just figured they could have done something with that. Like if they were going to make it almost horror, they could have totally taken it a totally different direction. I don't know. They could have done something funny. They could have done something scary. Yeah, go ahead.
Something
Oh yeah,
awesome and
I
never
was just going
made
to say
it.
that film. The guys in the chat are saying that film was called Shocker.
Mm.
Oh, that is a nice mask.
This was gifted to me by Luke at Reynolds Reviews because he knows I
Oh, I remember he
really
used to
like Jason.
have that up in his shelf, didn't he?
One,
Love me a bit,
two,
Jason.
Freddy's after you. 3, 4, you better lock your door. 5, 6, you better grab your crucifix. 7, 8, you better stay up late. 9, 10, you better not go to sleep again.
No, I mean, I think in terms of like growing up around scary stuff, I think some of the scarier things I've heard were just some of the scary tales we would tell amongst each other, whether that was like older friends of ours or our own relatives. Like some of the scary things we were told about certain folk tales. I don't know if you guys grew up around that. Tim on a personal level, or Monkey Boy, or Nick. I don't know.
You mean scary stories to tell in the dark?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might still have my childhood paperback of scary stories to tell in the dark, along with more scary stories to tell in the dark, and then the third one.
I can remember being a kid, and it wasn't really a big thing to do like camps and tell stories, but obviously we had like Nickelodeon, and there was that TV series, and I remember the kids at school talking about it. It was called Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
And I can remember watching it with my friends, and they were like, "Oh, it's scary," and I'm thinking, "No, I've been watching the Nightmare on Elm Street films with my sisters. They're scary. This is just fun."
Yeah.
The joy of having an
I
old
remember
sister
being
who let you watch
quite
whatever you
creeped
want.
out by Round the Twist.
Oh, have you ever felt like this? When we did the Nickelodeon stream, we only did the cartoons, but that was the one downside to doing it because, well, that wasn't an official Nickelodeon show. Like, I really wanted to talk about Round the Twist because that show is just, well, it's twisted. It's mental. It's nuts.
I watched one the other day, the one with all the seagull shit.
Mm-hmm.
Where everyone
Remember the one with the mermaid whose nails kept growing out of different parts of her fingers? That said nails, like fingernails growing out all up her fingers. It stuck with me for years, and I just can see it, and it's awful.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
So I think it was an Australian production, Ram the Twist, if I recall. It was very cool. Weird, but very cool.
I've seen bits of that movie, Soda Cauldron, but I've never watched the full movie.
No, I haven't seen that. I don't know what that one is.
Dummy Called Corky is definitely.
Yeah, it came out in 1978. It's a horror movie starring Anthony Hopkins, Burgess Meredith, and Anne Margaret. About a ventriloquist dummy called Corky. He said it's definitely Chucky's dad. He means from Child's Play.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't asked Kim what her plans for Halloween are, or have we? I don't think we did. Did we? Kim?
I think we just ignored her. I think we were rude and ignored her.
Typical men.
Oh,
potato. So are you doing anything for Halloween? Anything exciting going on?
No, we switch off all the lights in the hopes that we don't get any trick-or-treaters.
You're so tight. Just share the Iron Brew and battered Mars bars. What is wrong with you?
Okay, well, how many times do we need to go over this when I tell you I have never eaten a fried Mars bar? ever.
Ooh.
I've heard of people eating fried Twinkies, I think, or deep fried Twinkies.
Yeah, but I feel like Twinkies is one of the American snacks that could live under your bed for 10 years and you could still eat it. and
That is
concerns
true.
me.
That is true.
That
Just like
concerns
French
me.
fries. Yeah. McDonald's French
Well,
fries apparently.
reading movies. Rocco's Modern Life. Yeah. Well, we did an episode all about Nicktoons in the 90s, and Rocco's Modern Life was up there in with my favourite Nickelodeon cartoons. That and the first 2 seasons of Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
Log rolls downstairs.
To be fair though,
Awesome.
for that stream, I watched a lot of Real Monsters, and it's still kind of weird.
Yeah, the Grumble is like the freakiest character in that, I found. Like, it was. Did Tim Curry play the Grumble in that? Am I right? Was that Tim Curry?
I don't know. I can't
I'm not
remember.
sure. I hadn't seen it.
We need to Google it.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, we did a whole podcast on it, but my brain's already deleted it. Like, all the information. But no, Real Monsters was a good cartoon. Nickelodeon in the 90s had some bloody cracking shows on, not just the cartoons. Like, I think because they weren't afraid to be a bit more out there, were they? And I think
Yeah.
I just feel modern cartoons and TV shows just feel a bit sanitized now. Just a bit too worried about offending people or being a bit too
Have you
edgy.
seen
It's like,
the kind of documentary type thing about the guy behind Ren and Stimpy? I can't remember if it was on YouTube that I
John
saw it or on
Crifaluti.
Netflix, but there was a program about Ren and Stimpy and about the guy that made it. It was really, really interesting.
Yeah, he had some he had some legal challenges for behaviors and things he perhaps shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we touched on that slightly. Yeah, I've since learnt to pronounce his name. When we were bloody recording, I couldn't say his name, but I believe it's John Crifalusi or Crifalusi. But yeah, he basically got fired after 2 seasons. A couple of reasons. One, he would show up to work late and would be massively behind schedule of getting the cartoons out. And Nickelodeon liked to run a really tight ship to get their shows out.
Right.
2, just basically being a bit of an arse towards people. And 3, I think Nickelodeon were a bit worried about some of the stuff and imagery and the stories. Because, for instance, like the episode of the Rubber Nipple Salesman where Mr. Horse is dressed in like, in America, rubber nipples. Over here, we call them teats for baby bottles.
Yeah.
But he was basically, that was a giant anthropomorphic horse dressed in condoms. That's what that was. There's no doubting it. But it was just little things like that.
Alrighty.
You killed Tim.
Yeah,
What are you doing? Killed Tim.
it wasn't his intent, but I don't know. I'm getting a kick out of that because I never seen Tim because Tim always struck me as this super serious guy, but I know he's got a sense of humor, so I'm a little glad it's come out.
Are you all right, Tim? Oh God.
But I was gonna say, it just came to me, and I can't believe I almost forgot it. But I used to be freaked out by gremlins, when the
Really?
water got on Gizmo. So I was creeped out by the evil gremlins.
Do you know why I hate gremlins? Because they remind me of Furbies, and Furbies never die.
Oh,
Right, so here's the thing about the original Furby toys, right? They did a recall on them back when they come out, and my mum accused me because there was this thing that they told you that they could learn speech patterns and that they couldn't. They only had so many. It was still part of a ruse anyway. But Furby used to hiccup, And unfortunately, when he'd hiccup, his hiccup sounded like he was saying the name of a German dictator who
Oh God.
said, yeah, it sounded like he'd go, Oh, you can say Hitler, can't you? It sounded like you go, Hitler, Hitler, Hitler. And a load of people reported this back, like, why the hell is my kid's Furby saying this? But it wasn't. It was actually hiccuping. But because of the way the sound was recorded, it come out in his little speaker. So
They recalled them, and then when they reissued them, it said Mussolini and Stalin.
pretty.
I feel like we say that Furbies burn, but all I have in my head is the imagery of a Furby burning, but all that's left is its skeleton still.
Oh
talking.
jeez.
Oh, I've seen a Furby skeleton. They're horrific looking things.
There
Yeah.
was a video on YouTube that a guy did, and we're probably going back 10 years, and it was basically, it was the most disturbing thing ever. It was just like hands on camera on a table, and he was just slowly drilling into Furby and cutting parts of it away till he got to the skeleton.
Oh,
I don't know what was wrong with this guy. But he was just taking a toy apart, but it just looked horrific because the Furby's like reacting, going and stuff like that. It's proper disturbing, but it's just a guy basically dismantling Furby. And I can remember the comments on it were like, "What the hell's wrong with you, dude?" It's like,
yeah.
he
Very
got the
weird
effect he
people
wanted.
in the world.
I tell you what is a proper funny watch. It's probably still on YouTube. It's donkey's years old now, but somebody re-edited a trailer for Mary Poppins, but they added like all horror-esque soundtrack to it and everything. And the way they edited it, it looks like a proper horror film. Amazing what you can do in an edit. Check it out. I think it's called Scary Mary Poppins.
Okay, yeah, I'll check that out.
It's really well done. Really well done.
Gerard's
Was that
asking
on
if
the
that was on the
web?
dark
No, that was
web.
on
Oh,
that was on YouTube, mate.
what the Furby drilling?
YouTube's a weird place, man. I mean, I have no idea why, but it wasn't that long ago. It gave me a video. It recommended me a video on how to wax yourself. What? Like,
Oh, you mean like a bikini wax?
yeah. It was like a woman, like, and like I had to click the video out of curiosity, as you do, and like I'm surprised this video's on there, but there's like proper nudity in it. But because it's an educational video, that they get round it, and I was like,
Why are you
"No, it's-
surprised by that? You can find twerking videos and stripping videos and everything like that on YouTube. I don't know why that's surprising.
That
YouTube,
is
safe
true.
space where we review toys and talk about films and stuff."
Yeah, I know, but
don't
there's still loads of videos of like women twerking. There's twerking competitions. It's called
thanks
jump off and
thanks to
everything.
the TikTok culture. Ugh. Yeah.
Tim, is that part of your belly dancing outfit you've got on?
Yeah, this came out with this. I bought with my old black. It didn't come with it, but I have a little black vest and black genie pants that I bought originally. That I put this with, but then I got the purple harem pants and the purple Disney's Aladdin style vest. So
I know you.
man,
I'm not going
this
to
is
ask you to
hard.
do it. 'Cause I know you've said that you're not really comfortable to do it on a stream. But
Who's my?
is there any? Are there any like videos on YouTube of like your belly dancing class or anything, or is
You
it
have?
just sort of?
You took
No.
one?
I was just. No. What I was saying, Tim, was I know that you've said you're not going to do your belly dance on the stream because you're not particularly comfortable with it. That's fair. But I wondered if there were like any videos you and like your group have done or anything that you can watch anywhere.
Yeah, there's some I can do, but I did a little bit of a dance earlier.
Oh,
Recut as a
Zantara
comedy.
was saying that she saw a trailer. Oh, I don't know where the comment's gone now. She saw a
She saw a
trailer for the
YouTube video of
The
Ridley
Shining.
Scott's Alien trailer recut as a comedy film.
Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Santara's saying she saw one for The Shining, where it was made to look like a family rom-com. Gerard wants us to discuss Nick and Wax.
Okay.
Good dancing.
Now, let me try to do the knee shimmy.
Careful what you're shimmying. We've had enough trouble with that on this channel already. Oh, he's got his coin belt on as well. Good work.
Yeah, the hip scarf.
It must take a hell of a lot of you must have to properly isolate your core muscles and stuff to be able to do that.
Yeah, like this. I think what my teacher taught. This one hand here, one hand here. That's how he taught us how to do the belly roll.
You need a big red sticker on your stomach that says "Press me" or "Press here."
I am so shy. I'm surprised I even dress like this.
Hey man, you're
You
conquering
only
your
live
shyness.
once,
There's nothing
man.
wrong
You
with
only
that.
live once.
Well, Xantara requested it. I don't have a female requesting something like this that often, so.
Hey man, confidence comes from doing.
Fair play, Tim, because when you spoke on it the other week, you said you were a bit too shy to do it, and you've done it twice now. Obviously, I missed the first one, so fair
Well,
play to you, man.
I'm not that good at it. And I'm just
Nothing
taking
wrong
a
with what you're
tribal
doing.
fusion.
You
I'm
won't
doing
know
the
what to
tribal
improve
fusion
unless you
style.
do.
Huh?
I was saying you won't know what to improve upon unless you do it. Yeah, you may say you're not good, but at least you'll have an idea of what to improve on. Just saying.
Better than I'm ever going to be at it.
Yeah,
I mean, my
Gerard
belly
O'Connor.
wobbles these days, but it doesn't. It's not a dance. It's just eating too much and not exercising.
Yeah, I try not to eat too much because I try to keep my weight down so I'm not too fat.
Yeah, I don't have the. I need self-control. Kim's doing a potato dance.
Yeah, I was looking at the potato dance as well.
Is it a potato or an evil Tic Tac?
It looks a little bit like the Evil Bong, from the Evil Bong movies that Charles Band did for his Full Moon pictures or Full Moon features.
I like the potato. I'm a fan of the potato.
I think Kim can be a tiger as well. I think she has the same tiger as Michael has. What's the other
Yeah,
one?
I wish Michael was here because I gave him the StreamYard link and I told him, "You're always welcome." Yeah, I just wish he was here so he would put the tiger head on.
I don't know how to do any of those things. I'm not sure how that's done. It's all witchcraft to me.
Yeah. A lot of this is like voodoo.
I like technology sort of eludes me a bit. Like poor Kim, she had to sit in tonight for an hour with me while I was testing audio again. I just feel sorry for anyone who has that. Monkey Boy's done it with me this week. I'm terrible. Because I just is this okay? Is that okay? I'm learning slowly.
I have a crown.
Yeah. A tiara. You're the queen
Apparently this is a tiger potato.
You're the queen of the potatoes. The potato queen.
So Kim, if you could be any potato, what potato would you be?
Mashed.
Mashed. I mean, I was thinking you were going to come in with like a name of like
Yeah,
a
like King Edward or
Oh, like a Maris
Rustic
Piper.
or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
No.
Maris Piper's a good all rounder.
I do
Yeah.
appreciate a good Maris Piper.
A
You would have called it
Maris
a thing. You'd
Piper?
call it a tatty, wouldn't you?
What did
Tatty,
you
a wee
say?
tatty. Oh, that's terrifying.
What did you say, Nick? A marvelous pliber? I don't know what that was you said. You said it in such a thick accent I couldn't understand.
Oh, did my farmer voice come out? Sorry.
Is it when Nick said Maris Piper?
Yeah, Maris Piper. Okay.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
it's a breed or whatever they call it of potato.
Now that looks like that for a second looked more like the tiger head that Michael puts on.
Mm-hmm.
And then Michael does a great Skeletor voice.
In with a quick exit from Cam there.
Yeah, well, I think her T-shirt might have had a bad word on it. It looked like it had a bad word on there.
Does a T-shirt have a bad word on it, Kim?
It does, but it's so faded now. I don't think you could really see it, but maybe you can.
I could see it since I have my glasses on now. So.
Fucker! Oh, sorry, I've just got like a cramp up my calf muscle. Sorry.
Oh, those.
I'm sorry, dude.
No, it's all good. Please don't put me on camera because I literally look like an idiot right now.
I thought you'd seen a spider or something.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, I'll mute myself.
Well, here. Oh, shoot. I'm caught on something.
I do apologise for that little outburst.
That's all right, man.
There's one of my natural tattoos, a suntan tattoo. Freckles.
Is that like a big collection of freckles?
Yeah. So I still suntan, even though I thought I couldn't.
Right.
I still get freckles, little bits of freckles at times.
One of my sisters, literally, she won't go out in the sun because she has freckles on her face.
Okay.
But like they're not very clear. But if she goes out in the sun and gets a tan, they like. We're like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. But she's proper paranoid about like her freckles coming out from like the sun. I'm like, well, it's who you are. Don't worry about it. Proper stressed about it. It's like, dude, you're 37. Like, let it go. Don't worry about it. Insecurities.
I like freckles.
God
I think
damn
freckles
them.
are quite cool. I quite like freckliness.
Yeah, well, Gerard, I've got hairy arms, so I think maybe the arm hair helped. Acted as a natural, like, shield from the sun, so it didn't get all reddish. Because I take antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds, and with those, it makes me sunburn a lot.
With some of those.
It makes me sunburn a lot easier, and even with sunscreen on, I still sunburn.
Right.
Yeah, no, that is a thing. One of the ones I used to take said you shouldn't spend long periods of time in the sun. So
intriguing. I didn't know that was really okay.
There's some medications like, what was it? I had an antibiotic or something a while ago, and it said you couldn't drink grapefruit juice with it because apparently
that's Boost Bar. You're not supposed to drink grapefruit juice while you're taking that.
Yeah,
like
grapefruit juice is dodgy stuff. Actually, there are quite a few medications that react with grapefruit juice.
It's just one of those random things I read, and I was like, "What the hell?" You'd never think that. I mean, I'm never going to drink grapefruit juice anyway, so we're safe. But
So what are you dressed up as? Because I don't think those are real. Are those real glasses, or are they just a costume glasses?
So what these are my sunglasses that broke,
Okay.
and I flipped the lenses out of them. So tonight, as I said earlier, I am Clark Kent in his emo
Clark Kent.
stage.
Good work.
But
Do you
the
wear
thing is,
glasses? Regular glasses?
I'm supposed to wear glasses for reading, but I'm probably one of the most incredibly stubborn human beings you'll ever meet. I won't wear my glasses because they're just a pain in the bum for me. Because it's all right
Oh.
if you've grown up wearing glasses and you're used to it, but like all I do with them is this: I just keep taking them on and off because they never feel comfortable.
Oh.
So it's like the same reason I don't wear a watch, because I just fiddle with it all the time. I don't wear jewelry.
Right.
And my wedding ring's tattooed on because I just
Really?
can't.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised I'm not pulling. Well, I've taken these off several times throughout because they do my head in.
Oh.
But maybe I should just be like not a nudist. Like, what would be the word for someone who doesn't want to wear things but not a nudist? Because I'm talking about wearing clothes. I don't know.
Well, if you just go around shirtless, I think you're just like a macho, really manly sort of guy.
Yeah, the growing up on a council estate in like the early 90s, summertime was just full of really macho men walking around with their shirts on and their beer belts out. Oh, what an image. What a flashback that I never want again.
Yeah, and Travels and More with Jason says, right, my beautiful friends, this boy is off to sleep as very tired and been watching this on the floor. Back is still hurting from yesterday. Okay, well,
Oh,
good night,
well,
Travels and More with Jason. Thanks
Thanks,
for stopping
Jason.
by.
Thanks for being here.
Sleep well, man. Hope your back feels better.
And he also says, Nick, I am the same with the glasses, but slowly get used to it now.
See, Jason gets it. They sort of, I don't know. I'm just a child of ADHD who just can't deal with anything. I'm just a man baby.
Well, maybe you just have a little bit of, are you sure you're not just a little bit autistic, and maybe that's why you think maybe your attention
Okay, so
span's short?
an interesting thing that has come up. I don't mind saying it because it's nothing to be ashamed of. Because my boy is on the. I know people say everyone's on the spectrum now. My boy has been diagnosed for one thing and he's going for his assessment now for he's autistic. But my missus specializes in this stuff at school with what she does. She's like a SEN teaching, special educational needs teaching assistant. And when we were filling out all the assessments and that and everything, my missus is like, she's convinced that I've got ADHD and autism because she's like, we were answering the questionnaire and she's like, that's you, that's you, that's you. Oh my God, our son is a miniature version of you.
Well, that's kind of the design. Mini us, you know.
But I'm not diagnosed, so maybe not. Maybe it's just one of those things. But I'm never going to seek a diagnosis on it. It's not going to change anything. It will help my boy to have a diagnosis because he's young, and it's important to get him the right support. But for me, I'm a semi-functioning adult. I have a house, a home, a wife, a job, so it's not going to.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Maybe I've got nothing wrong with me, and I'm just a bit of a quirky idiot.
well,
Yeah.
Asperger's syndrome is high functioning autism, so there are those on the spectrum that do end up getting married and have children.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
whatever my boy is, he's high functioning. My boy is hilarious, isn't he, Kim? He's a little character, isn't he?
Kim's mic is muted.
He does come out with some whoppers, to be fair.
Very intelligent. Very.
Yeah.
My boy puts me to shame with his intelligence. He's so bright, so bright.
And Reading Movies says, good night, guys. Great chat. And good night, Reading Movies.
Thanks, man. Cheers, dude.
And Gerard O'Connor Gerard O'Connor, you say semi-functional adult. Nick Bro, you're hilarious. And Gerard, you're Irish, right? You're not Scottish, you're Irish.
Yeah, Gerard
How-
is.
How
He's
does the Irish accent go?
Oh, I don't know I don't know how to describe it, but I can tell based on hearing Kim speak and hearing other Irish
Whee!
folks speak, especially with that one series. It had Gillian Anderson in it. It's called The Fall, and it's set in Ireland. And
Good show.
you hear a clear difference between an Irish and a Scottish accent.
I
Okay.
thought Kim was Scottish,
Irish
though.
and Kim is
Kim's
Scottish.
But
Yeah,
isn't her husband British, though?
Kim, do you have a husband I know? Kim, do you have a husband I don't know about?
I don't think so unless I have a husband. that I
Okay, so
don't know about.
she's not also Miss Deddy.
No.
Okay, I get you
Kim's-
mixed up with Miss Deddy, who's married to a guy named Christian.
Oh, she's not married to Christian, but she is with Christian. Yeah,
I thought
Christian
Miss
is her partner. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Christian and Miss Deddy were married since they had a bunch of kids together.
No. They're not married. They both have a child from previous, but they're not married. They are a couple though. They are a couple that have got together.
Yeah, I know Luke Reynolds and Rachel. Rachel has a son by her ex, so she's got joint custody with her ex.
Yeah.
Really common arrangement, to be fair, these days, isn't it? It's pretty standard.
Yeah, Luke hasn't had any kids of his own, but his identical twin, Joe, I think has a couple kids.
Kids are expensive.
Kids are bloody expensive.
Yeah,
I couldn't afford a child. I'm pretty much a child myself, so
Yeah, same
I can
here.
barely afford my pets.
Growing up is overrated.
how many pets have you got, Kim?
Well, now obviously 7 guinea pigs.
How many?
7.
Wow. Okay.
I have during lockdown. I did have 26.
Oh man.
26 guinea pigs.
Yeah, 15 of them were mine, and the others were fosters.
Oh wow. Crikey.
Because you take in the more needy ones, don't you? The ones who need a
Well,
bit
I don't
more.
go out of my way to take in the more needy ones. They just, for some reason, manage to find me.
Ah.
More than anything else.
Oh. I like the noise guinea pigs make, that sort of chirping noise that they make. I think that's
Do you
really
know what? If anybody likes guinea pigs, they have their own Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why don't you mess with people on the next podcast, Kim? And when I ask you where to plug to, rather than your own Instagram, why don't you send them to the guinea pigs one?
Yeah, that's true.
Andrew's saying that his father had 15 dogs at one time, and it created a bit of a problem. Yeah, that's a lot of hound. 15.
Also depends what type of dogs they were as well. Like if they were big dogs, that's a lot.
Well,
Yeah, I guess if it was 15 chihuahuas, it's still a lot, but
yeah,
you
it's
can
still a lot, isn't it?
you can fit them in a room. But if you had 15, like Dobermans,
There's I swear there's like a TV show, and they had a couple who had like 10 Irish wolfhounds, and then there was another couple that had like 8 St. Bernards or something.
Crikey.
St. Bernard's,
There's
that's the
a
dog
woman
with
on
the
TikTok
Beethoven,
has
isn't
like
it?
5 Newfoundlands.
Well, they're big as well.
Yeah, they're massive.
Bloody hell.
I only ever had one dog. I had an Alsatian or German Shepherd, whatever you want to call him, called Ben. He was lovely. He only lived till he was 8, but
Oh,
incidentally died when I was 8, and I always remember him because he had a shit bark. He couldn't bark properly, and he looked scary, but there was nothing ferocious about this dog at all. He was
Right.
just soft.
Oh,
And then when I met Carla, my wife, she had a Labrador cross thing called Nipper. And bless him, Nipper went on about about a year before COVID. Bless him, just reached the end. But he was dopey because a few times what he did, and it was hilarious. What he'd do is he'd fart, and the fart would scare him, and he'd just take off running. It was hilarious. But best.
excellent.
A couple of times I saw it, I was like, I wish I could film this. It's hilarious.
Do you know, my mum's dog, when she was younger, they used to have to shut him in a different room in the house when they were putting the washing up in the pulley. Because if they were putting the pulley up when the dog was kicking about, they did it once and they couldn't find him for at least half an hour. And then it was because he'd grabbed onto a bedsheet and was up on the ceiling with the pulley. He'd just been hanging there for like 30 minutes.
Animals, man. Animals are just...
That, and do you remember when they used to say you can't tell stork from butter?
Yeah.
So my mum's dog used to get a biscuit with butter at the weekend.
Right.
And my granddad used to say, "I'll go put stork on it." And they would put stork on it, and Rinty he wouldn't eat it. But could you get the biscuit back? No. But he wouldn't eat it either, but he wouldn't eat anything with stork on it.
Oh.
Dogs, man. Animals in general are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, both my cats are weirdos.
Yep.
To be fair, Billy is exceptional.
He is, but he needed a home. And I had a hole in my heart from Rose, and it was just one of them. Like a year ago now, my black cat passed away. I'd had him for 15 years. And Kim knows that was my baby, wasn't it? Obviously I've got a son, but animal baby, that was my cat. And he passed away, and he was this jet black panther like cat, bless him. And
didn't you get another one though? I thought you had a young one now.
I do, yeah. This is what I'm getting to. And found out through my mum that this woman who runs a cat rescue had a little black kitten. Was found on a farmyard at approximately 3 weeks old. They didn't think it was going to make it because he was full of worms and starving. And they managed to save him. And this idiot here decided, no, I better give him home, hadn't I?
Oh.
But I suspect that the reason he was found on a farm was because he come from a feral cat, and he probably got lost or dropped by his mum because he's a little arse, and he's asleep there now. But like, he's really weird. I showed it on the stream the other week. Like, Kim's seen it loads of times. When you hold him, he doesn't like to be held normal. He likes to stretch out across your hands and lean backwards, and he'll stay like that for ages. But he loves it. But because a few of you follow me on Facebook, did anyone see the picture of him when he managed to climb up on the door?
On the door, yeah.
Your cat? I think so.
Yeah,
That
like,
was
what are you
one
doing,
thing.
cat? He just we got old-fashioned single glazed windows in this cottage, and they're all like, the crisscross wood effect, and he climbs up them like they're a ladder. So, what are you doing?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like all cats, they're all a bit defective, aren't they? Like, if a cat was a human, you wouldn't be friends with a human with the personality of a cat, would you? You'd think
No.
you'd think that human was despicable and a complete arse, but because they're cats and they're fluffy, like I've got the ginger one. Excuse the mess in the room. The boys left a mess. I'll show you. Oh, but look at how he's sleeping right now with his paw over his nose.
So that's all the cat. He's not laying against anything.
Nope, that's all the cat.
That's
It's
Okay,
a
from
this-
cat.
His fur looks kind of messed up.
No, his fur is lovely and smooth. But you're 16,
Oh.
aren't you, mate?
Oh,
She's
okay.
lovely.
He's 16, and his mum was one of the bold cats, like what was in Austin Powers, but she got out and the local tomcat got her up the duff, and Ozzy is one of the results.
Ah,
So he only has, his fur is really unique because those bold cats, they do have a sort of very fine fur on him,
yeah.
but he doesn't have any coarse fur because cats have normally got a coarse layer and a smooth and a soft layer, which is how they
Yeah.
insulate, and
Yeah,
he doesn't have the coarse layer of fur. So he's incredibly rubbish if he gets wet because he just gets soaked to the bone.
Right.
But why his fur always, oh, turn it back again, try not to get the picture of my kid. That's the reason his fur always looks, his fur is the softest fur. I've never
Oh,
felt another cat like it. It's really, oh yeah, it's a chill stream, not a cat stream. I appreciate. Sorry, I'm talking about my cat, but yeah,
that's right.
his fur is. There'll never be another one of you, will there, mate? Never be another one of him.
Oh,
But yeah, he's old man, 16. He was
yeah.
16
I
in
think my watch
September.
about 15 now, so she's getting on a bit.
Well, the oldest cat I've ever had lived to 24.
Wow.
So I'm kind of hoping you'll do the same, Oz. Yeah, he was proper old. He wasn't record breaking though, because he's a bit older. But we remember because Sweep up until his last year was like going really strong. And it sounds awful to say, but none of us wanted him to go on. But my mum was like, I wonder if this cat's going to. You know, when you've had a cat, my mum was like, I don't want anything to happen to him, but like, he just keeps going.
I think
He just kept going.
the oldest cat on record, not 39.
Yeah, it's something insane. I mean,
Wow.
I've heard of
And
cats.
but there's been two record holdings of the oldest cat, and the current, I think the oldest one recently was 39, but the one before that, it's both held by the same owner.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same owner that had both cats that got Guinness World Record for the oldest
Wow.
cat. I'm pretty sure it's 39.
I'm just looking up now.
39.
Oldest cat.
What was she feeding it?
Oldest.
Embalming fluid?
Don't know.
38 years old was 38 years and 3 days old, and he was called Cream. He was called Cream Puff. Born in August 1967 and died August 2005.
That's
Yeah, and I'm
amazing.
pretty sure the second oldest, and then they were both owned by the same guy.
Wow. I'd like to know what his secret was.
Do you know what though? I think the secret to animals' age and stuff, it's just a mix of one, making sure it's got good care and good diet, but really the biggest thing is just genetics. It's just
So
luck of the draw.
humans.
Yeah, it's just luck of the draw.
Look at my nan. My nan literally smoked probably 60 cigarettes a day and drank a bottle of brandy a day. And you might say, oh, 79 is not that old. But for somebody who didn't take care of herself at all
Right.
and literally ate crap, she used to have 6 sugars in her tea. She
Oh,
never ate anything which you would consider, she'd never cook anything you consider a decent meal. She lived off crap, she drank like a fish, and she smoked like a trooper. And she got to
wow.
that age. So what the hell would she have got to if she took some semblance of care of herself? Do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Wow.
So it is genetics, isn't it? I mean, look at Lemmy from Motorhead. I know he died. I believe he died on his 70th birthday.
Right.
And you might go, 70's not old. We all want to live older than 70. But look at the lifestyle he led.
Yeah.
That lifestyle, that amount of drugs, that amount of booze, that amount of cigarettes,
Yeah.
and the sheer craziness of the life he lived. I'd say 70. What, again, but then, there's nothing to say if he wasn't super fit. That's something, because I don't want to bring it to a depressing tone. And this, I don't tell this story to be depressing, but my mum's side of the family, bad hearts has always been a thing. That's sort of been the thing that takes everyone out. And she had a cousin who was super obsessed with not having a heart attack because like everyone in the family like died of heart attacks, and
Right.
he was super fit, like the fittest specimen of a man ever. He died on a treadmill from an embolism. He died
Oh,
trying
no.
to avoid the thing that killed everyone. So it's kind of like, I don't want to bring it down, but it's just is. And he died at roughly the age the other, like his brother and cousin did from like bad heart. So it's like, if it's your time, man, it's your time, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
Get you one way or another.
No, it's
Enough on the pressing death speak, because we don't.
no, but you're right. You said it. When it's your time, it's your time.
Can we see? Oh, sorry, Lester. Go on.
I was just saying, in my church practice, one of the phrases is, "Blessed are those whom you have chosen and have taken, O Lord." So it just means that, I'm lucky that I'm able to wake up the next day. I get the talk from my tiger mom, like, and this is like when I was 8 or 9. He goes, my child. We have a term in Filipino that parents say to their child. But they go, my child, I might not be here tomorrow. So it's like, hey, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, go ahead.
Am I right in saying, Lester, that like, isn't it people of Asian descent, Asian origin, generally have quite healthy, good sort of lifespans anyway, compared to like other places in the world? Do you know what I mean?
Depends on which one you're talking about, because people like to think Asians, they like to think Chinese, Korean, even Filipino in some cases, Japanese. But you forget there are other Asians like.
Oh yeah, there's like Indians and everything.
Not just that, but Southeast Asians like Vietnamese, Laotians. It varies, and especially when it comes to certain stereotypes, it does vary from one section of Asia over another. Because a lot of people like to think Asians, oh yeah, the poster child of productivity. You wouldn't believe it. You talk to a lot of Asian kids when it comes to their, especially in this day and age. A lot of parents like to talk about my child is good, my child is like this. No, every Asian child, is pretty rebellious. They'll try to keep up standards a little begrudgingly, I'll admit. I mean, I'm not doing it just to please you. But
I mean, I think there's always going to be stereotypes of everyone from every part of the world. There'll be stereotypes for Asian people. There's stereotypes for British people. Like, we all speak the Queen's English. We all eat cucumber sandwiches. We all watch the Queen's speak. We're nothing like that.
Like your stereotypes of Scottish people?
Oh,
yeah, fried Mars bars.
1, never had a fried Mars bar. 2, I will give you the iron brew thing, but that's just because it's better than anything else.
3, I don't believe that stereotype one bit, but just because I'm an absolute wind-up merchant, and me and Kim will take jabs at each other about our respective countries, because that's what we do as friends. We banter. That's just whenever I've lost an argument with Kim, which is usual, because she normally beats me in arguments, I just throw that out there because I'm a child and I've got no comebacks.
So the funny thing, if you want to talk about, and I'll just speak on my personal family's side of it. So on my dad's side, his mom's side of the family has the reputation of living longer. His dad's side, it's the other way around. So but among his siblings, it's almost a luck of the draw, and I still count to this day. I still question it. It's like, okay, what am I here for? If when I was a kid, I learned I wasn't sure if I was going to live past birth. I'm like, okay, something's got to give. I'm here. My twin is not. So it's just, what do I do with it? I got to do something with my life that's productive, fruitful, and, a sense of gratitude that, okay,
I think the only important thing, mate, is to be happy and be good to other people. And as long as you're that and you do that, I don't think it matters if you're the CEO of a major corporation, a brain surgeon, or you work in McDonald's. As long as you're happy and you're good to people, it don't really matter, do it?
I gotta address Gerard's question. Pickups this week. Ooh, finances have been tough, but if I were to do a pickup, it might be a DVD, Blu-ray, a book. I never thought I would want to pick up another book. What was that?
I have pickups, but they're probably boring pickups. But if you want me to show
them, boring. We'll see if it's boring. We'll see if it's boring.
That's okay. I'm sorry. I'm starting to talk like I'm pretty.
Kim doesn't help the stereotype by putting free a Braveheart quote.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I came. That's what I was
thinking. She roasts me, and let's bear in mind, I give Kim grief. She gives equal amounts back. Not help. So I'm sure I told this story before I tell you what my pickup was. I was on the phone once I had to phone Kim about something podcast related, and there was a Sparky I was working with, and he picked up that Kim's Scottish, and he goes, "Ask her if she's drinking Iron Brew." And I kid you not, she was actually drinking a can of Iron Brew at the time. I'm like, well, you don't help the blooming stereotype, do you?
Yeah, but to be fair, we're like the only country that Coca-Cola is not the #1 selling beverage.
Hey, don't blame you. If you got a better product, you got a better product. I'm not.
Also, can we just mention, right? Coca-Cola, I'm concerned about what is in full-fat Coke, because just to put it into perspective, right? So when animals and stuff urinate, they put calcium deposits and everything. In order for me to soak that out, I can soak it in full-fat Coke.
Oh, okay.
To remove it. Mm-hmm. So could you imagine what that's doing to your insides?
Are we talking about, because at least in America, there's the Coke composition that has taken place since I don't know when. So that mainly is the one containing high fructose corn syrup. And then there's
you guys they love to stick that in stuff in America, don't they? High fructose corn syrup.
Well, that, and then there's the rendition of Mexican Coca-Cola, which is basically, I checked the ingredients. There's probably a couple of less things, but they use cane sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, the Mexican Cokes, they do that.
Yep.
It's shite being Scottish. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Huh?
Oh dear, did someone else?
What happened?
Gerard says that. Yeah, Gerard saying, it's like being Scottish, where I can't do the accent.
We're the lowest. Being Scottish, we're the lowest of the low scum of the fucking earth. Some people say the English are wankers. I don't. We're just colonized by wankers.
Oh.
Is that? I think that might be a quote from something. No.
Oh, train spotting. Do you mean train spotting?
Oh.
Yeah.
May I remind people, train spotting is filmed in Edinburgh. Edinburgh is a whole different ballgame. Edinburgh is the one place in Scotland that doesn't actually really have Scottish people.
Interesting. Okay, so I have this question about Glasgow. Kim, because there's a guy in the martial arts world who teaches out of Glasgow, but I hear things at Glasgow. I don't know if it's as rough and tumble, but that's
Mate, it's rough.
okay.
It's a rough place. Yeah,
Okay.
Eh,
it's a rough. Sorry
no,
to
I
cut off.
wouldn't
Kim,
say.
but
I wouldn't say Glasgow is a rough. I wouldn't say Glasgow is a rough city. It's rough as in depend. It's the same as any city. It depends where you go in the city.
Okay.
There are areas of Glasgow you just don't go to if you don't want trouble. But then there's nice areas of Glasgow, because I lived in Glasgow for years, and I lived in really nice areas and never had a problem. But there's areas I just wouldn't go to.
Bristol, and Manchester, and Liverpool. They're all rough. Like if you go to the right places, all the wrong places, should I say? Even where I live in Little Dorset, we've got
Yeah.
rough parts of Dorset, like really, really rough parts. Like you know, don't go there, you'll get stabbed up. Sort of rough, you know. It's wherever you go, isn't it? Really.
I think people seem to. I think people seem to think that Glasgow's rough just because it had a very high gang affiliation for a long time.
I see.
Okay, good night, Gerard. And thank you for coming and modding.
Thanks, Gerard. Cheers, buddy.
Gerard.
No, thank you for the insights, because I don't know. It's always intriguing to hear other people's perspectives on crime or bad activity or whatever you want to call it. But I know U.S. has the reputation it does, but I always wonder what it's like in other parts of the world. Like in the Philippines, I hear stories. I just hear stories, and the
To
stories.
be fair, like in Scotland, our knife crime is very low now.
Okay.
They actually took in an American theory.
Okay.
And method, so our knife crime is actually quite low.
Okay.
In Scotland, in general, I suppose coming from our side of the pond, I think the only reason people don't really deem America as safe is just because anybody can go in and buy a gun, and you could literally be walking down the street minding your own business and get shot.
Sure, but that's
so
almost. Well, I would say that's almost anywhere in the world. Like in the Philippines, I hear it's often worse, and at least in certain parts of the world, like people aren't going to talk about it, but in the Middle Kingdom, I'll just dub it that way. You got to know some Chinese. In the Middle Kingdom, there's word about trafficking, so it's just one of those things that
it happens everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So
crime everywhere. There's crime everywhere, and England's a lot smaller than America, so obviously there's you don't hear
it's
as
just
much.
Different. It's just different types of crime, I think, as well. It's just like
our problem in England, like violent crime, is knife crime. Like knife crime, like is bad.
I heard you guys have a knife problem because guns are outlawed.
Guns are outlawed, so guns. You can own a rifle or a shotgun if you like have a reason to own them. If you like work farms or into like not hunting for sport, but like for gamekeeping. Shotguns. You can like have a shotgun if you like do shooting for shoots where you go and shoot pheasant and stuff. But you got to be licensed for it. You got to it's really you have to have a good reason, and you get police checked every year, and like it's properly regulated. Like do you know what? If you have a gun license in the UK and you turn around to someone in a pub and said, "Shut your mouth, mate, or I'll shoot you," or you make a joke about shooting someone and they report you to the police and they check and you've got a gun license, they will strip your gun license from you. No messing about. That's it. Like you'll never get a gun license ever again.
Well, that's the same here. Like, like you said, anybody can go and buy one. That's true. But there are store-based background checks. Like if your background check doesn't pass muster, then you're not going to be able to pick it up. Usually those turn around in a matter of days or same day, but there was a major increase of would-be purchasers, and so people would wait upwards about a week and a half to maybe 2 to 3 weeks. So they would be like, okay, what is my background check done? And when it comes to the other capability that we have is that we can carry it on our person. There are stipulations, like if you are guilty, or if you are found, or if you are convicted of a felony, you kiss it goodbye. That's why it's like, yeah, I get to carry it around with me, but it's just you have to be aware of. Yeah, go ahead.
Probably take you up to 6 months in the UK if you apply for a gun license to get that license. Now, what I can do, I'm not interested in owning a gun, doesn't do it for me, but I could go out with my friend who has a shotgun license, and if we are going to the correct place where you can shoot and it's all above board, under his supervision I can fire his shotgun. But like in the UK, like you legally have to have gun safes, and you legally cannot store the ammunition in the gun case, and you cannot store if they come round and do a random check, which they do, and you've got ammunition in your gun case, in your gun cabinet, or your gun is loaded, again, you've lost it. You're probably getting a charge as well. Like you don't do that. You have to be completely separate.
Well, thankfully we don't have those. Thankfully, we don't have those periodic or regularly scheduled checks. Thankfully, I mean, it's just really. It's almost like I understand that the system has to improve, but where it has to improve, that's still up in the air, because we can always find arguments we can weasel to make our case. So that's the dilemma that either current or prospective owners are facing, as far as like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
I don't go into it. My thoughts on. I don't live in America, so it's not really any of my business how you guys handle stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just it's a different world. But I'll give you one instance. One school shooting in Dunblane changed the law forever in this country. That was it.
Yeah, that's.
There ain't no owning hand pistols no more. That was it. Wiped out. Done.
Yeah.
That changed it for good. So that's sort of the way it is. But we have a different we have a different mentality over here to guns. We haven't grown up around guns. It's not a right to bear arms. We don't. It's not our thing.
I get it.
Completely different country, completely different culture. That's why I can't really comment on the American side,
because
I've been raised in America, so it's not real. I have opinions on things that have happened in America, but they're not opinions I'd air here.
No, I get you.
No. You do. Yeah, it's best.
It's not.
Yeah.
We don't want to bring Tim's channel down.
Yeah.
No, I don't do political talk. At the end of the day, I don't live in the States, so it's not really my concern. What I was going to say was, if anyone wants to see my pickups, I will show them.
Yeah.
What have you got? Let's have a look.
It's nothing exciting. It's not toys. It's just boring. But
just
what have I
boring talk. Just boring stuff.
I bought myself a proper mixing desk for my computer for my podcast, and I bought myself a professional microphone.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty snazzy thing. It's like, yeah. I honestly, it's funny because I see myself as an audiophile, and I don't know why down the road in my life I didn't pursue it fully, but if I had my druthers and I wouldn't have to work as triply hard to make a living, I would be in radio or just being a DJ. But I know people who live that life, and it's like going to venues, hauling equipment, not my thing. but no.
I was in a function band for up until the pandemic for 5-6 years. Driving to venues and hauling heavy ass equipment and amplifiers and PA rigs. I never want to do it again.
And
was the bane of my life. You do all this work, you go up on stage, you perform for 2 hours, you get an absolute buzz, but then you got to pack everything down,
Yeah, it's a
deal with
pain
every
in the
drunk person going, "I love you, you were great," even though you probably played terrible because you were drunk and played a song they like. They all want to grab onto you, and then you got to pack it all up. Then you got to drive home,
Yeah.
and sometimes it'd be like a 2-hour drive home, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning by the time I got out of the venue. So the
Mm,
amount of times I had to pull over in a lay-by and sleep because I was like, I'm going to fall asleep at the wheel. So
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
not
yeah,
fun.
that's a real
if I
pain.
spent more time on it, if I really dedicated myself, if I really applied myself, I probably would have gone to film school. if people were to ask, because I didn't know, I was very much into pop culture, even growing up. As long as I can hear a song that hooked, it stayed in my mind even to this day. Like I just rediscovered a Pet Shop Boys track from '87, and I remember hearing that song when I was riding the bus to school and back. It was forgot the exact title, but what have I done to deserve this? I forgot the specific title to that track, but that
Yeah,
hook, the music, the production and the music, just it's just something that I wanted to be a part of. Or even when we do school projects, we would do video projects, and like I I I somehow just was gravitated towards a good movie, and you know I kind of was inching towards that with my English degree, but it's just maybe I could have done some more film classes if I really when I was in junior college or even my undergrad, if I looked up film classes, just some of the things I still remember from even 2002. The formulas in film. Yeah. But anyway, sorry, but your mic just brought me back to all those thoughts. You having a professional mic and all that, or at least that's my impression. That's a pro looking mic.
let's just say cheerio to Kim because Kim's left us now. She's off
Yeah,
to bed. So thanks for joining us,
And
Kim. Appreciate you
and
stopping by.
I think
Uh,
Soda Cauldron left as well.
yeah.
Oh, is Soda off? Okay, thank you, Soda. Cheers for stopping by and joining us.
Yep.
Andrew's saying that you remind him of an old school wrestler, Tim.
That's that. He did his job
Yeah,
then, because he did his job.
Excellent.
I'm probably going to kick on in a minute. I think, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I
Um,
was going to say I think I'm going to have to make tracks. I need to be up very early tomorrow.
That's too bad because I like to party hard.
Quality. Yeah, no, I've got a busy day ahead of me tomorrow.
I get you.
So how's Ewok doing, Monkey Boy?
She's okay. I mean, she's getting on a bit now. She's got arthritis and stuff, but she's still doing all right. She can still jump on the bed, so that's all right. I keep an eye on her. It's getting harder for her to do it, but she can still manage to jump up on there. So, when she gets to the point where she can't jump on the bed anymore, I'm going to get a little set of steps because you can buy pet steps for things like that. So I'll get a little set of steps so that she can climb up on the bed still. Andrew saying he couldn't jump on the bed. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, we're all getting that way, aren't we? I suppose.
if I jumped on the bed, I'd smash through the bloody thing. Do you know what? bed. be so nice to like. Do you know? I hurt myself getting out of bed the other week. I just hurt my leg getting out of bed. That's why getting old's crap. Just stepped out of bed and was like, my leg hurts now. Brilliant. Like, I used to do that backyard wrestling stuff. I used to throw myself out of like, first floor windows, second floor windows, and jump on things and smash through tables. That's probably why everything hurts now, to be honest. But I just haven't got the resilience anymore.
So you just loved to wrestle when you were a kid?
Oh yeah. I was what would you say? I wasn't a thug or anything, but I didn't mind like a bit of play fighting or whatever. It's good fun. Do you know what I mean? It's like loved wrestling, absolutely loved wrestling. And the thing is, I was the size I am now when I was 13. I just grew up really quick, and everyone was like, he's going to be massive, he's going to be huge. No, I just fully grew by the time I was like 13.
So how tall are you?
I'm only 5'8", but like because of my build and everything, because I'm like quite like stocky, like as a 13-year-old kid next to all the other like 13-year-old kids in school, there were a few kids taller. I was like getting a bit of stubble and stuff and looking voice broken and like stock. Do you know what I mean? I was the kid they used to send to buy the cigarettes because I didn't get ID'd. So,
Andrew's saying he hurt his back making the bed, which was a real He-Man activity. I've got better than that. I can beat that. I once put my back out for 2 weeks from lifting a cup of tea. And that's a true story. I lifted up the tea, something went twang, and I was buggered for 2 weeks.
So you British dudes really do like to drink tea?
I don't drink tea personally, unless it's black and I've run out of coffee. If I run out of coffee, I'll have a black tea.
I prefer coffee, but I've drunk tea recently. I tend not to drink tea very much in the summer, but in the winter when it gets cold and dark, I quite like sitting with a mug of tea and some biscuits.
But Tim, it is no exaggeration that British people drink a hell of a lot of tea. You go around someone's house, do you want a cup of tea, and you go around their house for half hour and you've had 2 cups of tea or 2 hot drinks. Like if you come round, Dave, you'll agree, won't you? If you go around someone's house in England or you invite someone around your house, it's considered real bad form to not offer them a cup of tea or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Always offer a hot drink.
Yeah.
Could be bastard hot middle of the summer in a heat wave, but you better offer a cup of tea.
Shall I put the kettle on?
Seriously.
Yeah.
So put the kettle on. Seriously, it never.
Well, I'm dressed for the desert.
They don't really do. They do good tea in India, but I think a lot of other countries in the world don't do tea properly. They don't do a proper cup of tea.
No, they don't.
I think in Australia they do drink a lot of caffeinated tea.
I mean, all our tea. Well, you can buy decaf tea here, but it's normal caffeinated tea, and we have lots of varieties of tea. I sent Michael over a box of vanilla tea not that long ago. He likes tea. I don't mind tea. I don't mind it if it's black. I just don't like it with milk. I like a white coffee. I do put milk in my coffee. I can drink black coffee. It's fine, but I like a black white coffee. I like my tea black.
Yeah.
No, I'm the opposite. It's a weird. Well, it's not weird, but it's a funny story. The reason I drink black coffee is because of James Bond.
Yeah.
I always used to drink coffee with milk, like when I was sort of younger, and I guess I must have been about 13 or 14, something like that. And I remember I was sitting there watching a Bond film with my dad, and I can't remember which Bond film it was, but there was a scene where Bond got a black ordered a black coffee or was drinking a black coffee. And I thought, oh, I've never tried that before. And then the adverts came on, the commercial break came on, and I went and made a black coffee because I'd never tried it before. And I haven't had milk in my coffee ever since.
Yeah, I'm the reason I drink black tea is because I used to run a butcher shop and delicatessen, and we had a company come out called Dorset Tea, and we to stock their product, I had to do one of their tea tasting things they do, as exciting as that was.
Right.
And they didn't serve the tea with milk; they served it black and got me to do all this stupid slurp it stuff, which made me want to vomit because I hate that sound. But I actually enjoyed the black tea, so that's why I switched to black tea. And yeah, like I said, I don't mind a black coffee at all. If I've run out of milk at work or I can't be asked to pull in and get milk on the way to work, I will just do it. But it's all right. It's not bad. It's not too bad.
I'm more intrigued. I just noticed this about tea is that you have more varieties of tea, allowing, at least for myself, the playing with and the experimentation with the different flavors and see if I can combine them. Coffee's a little different because it's got to be a good base, and then I would think about what I would do in terms of flavoring if I want something more than black coffee. It's just, do I want to add cinnamon? You know, that's one of the reasons why I order certain coffee drinks from certain places, like, you know, just get an idea if I want to start sprucing up my drinks for any reason. As far as my own teas, I usually try to make my own variety of Hong Kong milk tea. I have a bag. I just got a bag of Thai tea leaves, which is intriguing. Like, it uses seemingly standard tea leaves with an addition of a food coloring number according to the ingredient listing, which gives the Thai tea its flavor profile. And my mom does this for all the parties that she does. She makes her own Thai tea because when you get it at the shops, so it's become like $4 to $5 a glass. What do you call it? A cup or a glass? You know, it adds up. So, you know, that's my foray into teas. I didn't think I would get into it, but it's been fun to test different varieties of tea, like green, jasmine, Ceylon, and Pekoe, or however it's pronounced, spelled Pekoe. I'll put this in the chat.
I had a bubble tea for the first time a couple of weeks ago.
And how was that?
I never had one before, and it was very, very expensive.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, depending on where you go, like if you hear certain commentary from expats via Taiwan, they would say, yeah, it's cheaper to get bubble tea in Taiwan than it is to get in New York. And in a lot of ways, they are right, because before it exploded, you can easily get a bubble tea for like $2 to $3, which isn't bad.
Right.
Now it's almost like a gourmet thing, in that you pay roughly 5 to 6, maybe a little bit more than that, depending on what you decide to customize it with. You add more things, you can change. Even substituting the cream base that goes into a typical bubble tea drink.
Yeah.
That the additions will catch up, and before you know, your drink will cost you close to $10 if you're not.
Yeah, well, this bubble tea that I had is the most expensive drink of any kind I've ever bought. I mean, I don't drink alcohol particularly.
Sure.
Not very much. But even when I I did drink alcohol, you know, you could get I think the last time I bought a pint, they were about 4
Mhm.
quid. They're a bit more than that now. But this bubble tea, I went into the tea bar, the bubble tea shop, and I ordered whatever it was that I ordered,
Mhm.
and then the girl said, "Okay, thank you. That will be £6," and I nearly fell over. I couldn't believe it was that much, and I sort of I'd sort of paid it before I quite got over the shock, and I thought, this had better be nice because this is the most expensive drink I've ever had. And it was nice enough, but I wouldn't buy another one. Six
it's
quid
like
for
I'll treat myself, and your way of treating yourself is getting a cup of bubble tea. But your £6, that's about right. That's almost about the same as what it would cost. And this isn't to be ethnocentric, but was what was the ethno makeup or the demographic makeup of the staff and what you might see as management? Did you get a glimpse of, like, was it staffed by a lot of Asian immigrants or Asian expats? And
there. I think the young lady that served me I think she was Asian.
yeah,
But I didn't really see. There was another a white ginger haired guy that was there. So I think there was a mix of people there.
okay,
I didn't
all right.
see too many people.
No, it's just something that I've thought about, and a lot of people made this discussion point about um, the makeup of a lot of the owners of these would-be establishments. So, for example, at least in the U.S., I can't speak for the U.K., but in the U.S., a lot of these would-be Japanese restaurants, a lot of them are owned by and run by Koreans or even Chinese.
Right.
You know, and so that there, I've only found, I think, one establishment in my neighborhood, I think, run by Japanese people. Not that it's like a one-to-one that it's going to be the best thing you'll ever have, but there is that thing in the back of your mind about authenticity. You know, you can call it into question, but maybe not all the way. You know what I mean? So it's just I'm just curious to know if it's like that where you guys are at, where, you know, you see the sign and it's this kind of restaurant, and you wonder, is this really an authentic place?
Yeah, I've no idea. No
Oh,
idea.
that's all good. I was just curious. You know, toss
Yeah.
ideas, trade notes. But yeah.
Cool.
But no, speaking of drinks, I found this at a Vietnamese convenience store. Like, that is true. He speaks the truth. I could say this as I've traversed into various Asian food establishments, but as far as a drink pickup, I picked up, in addition to the Mexican Coca-Cola, but I discovered there's a drink called Malta from Guinness or some other brand, but it's a malt beverage that supposedly gives you energy because it's got these vitamins infused in the drink. Don't know if you guys have that over there, but it's supposed to be a non-alcoholic drink. I'm like,
No, I haven't heard of that.
but it's put out. I think it's put out by Guinness. It's called Malta, and it's supposedly dubbed as an energy drink as well because it's supposed to have these vitamins. But I found that interesting. Like, because I'm not opposed to alcohol. I just know that alcohol can do a number depending on the type. So if it's wine, I got to be careful. If it's hard liquor, depending on the type, I have to be careful, and so on. But it's like, I'll enjoy alcohol, but I want alcohol to be something that I can enjoy. So I usually enjoy it with company, not usually by myself, unless it's like a thing I'm into on the screen, like I'm watching a movie. But the Malta drink was pretty interesting. It's like I can get down with this every once in a while. But yeah, let me see if I can find a link for us here. And
Well, I
speaking
think
of,
I'm going to have to call time
Okay.
on myself.
okay,
'Cause I'm
Okay, well,
going to have to make tracks. I don't know if you want to carry on, Tim, but
I think we should just end. We're almost at 3 hours. We're 6 minutes into 3 hours, or we're 6 minutes shy of 3 hours. I think we should just end. So
yeah,
well, thanks for joining us, Nick. Thanks for joining us, Lester.
yeah, anytime.
and I'd like to thank Santara for giving me a costume idea.
And you lived up to it, man.
And I'm glad I was able to find some sunglasses, and I still have this. Make it more of a costume.
Well, I did laugh when I saw you in that. I didn't realize you were going to actually do it. So
Well, Xantar's a lady, and I have a lady making a request like that. I'm not going to say no.
well done, Xantara. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks to everyone that's joined us this evening. Again, I won't go through everyone's name because I'll probably forget somebody, and
Yeah,
I don't want to upset anybody. But thank you for everyone that's joined us this evening. Really do appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Cheers for Nick. Cheers for Lester.
you
And cheers,
too.
Tim, again. And
Yeah.
we'll all see you soon.
Yeah.
Indeed.
See you guys all next week.
Enjoy your Halloweens, guys.
Thank
However
you. Happy
celebrate.
Halloween, everyone.
Yeah,
Make it easy, guys. Enjoy yourselves.
you too.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye. Good night. Okay, Monkey Boy in
You're still live, Tim.
oh shoot. And stream?